In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1457. Back again, doing it live. Yeah, 1457. We got producer Matt, cousin Matt, whatever you're going by these days.
What have you, whatever. I think that I had to lean into the cousin Matt because like it's just what everybody kept calling me. So that's what it is. That's what it'll be for now. You know, whatever.
Are you gonna do you have any other ideas for a new like moniker?
No, not really. It's not that important to me. So like cousin Matt, it is.
Cousin Matt, it is. That works for me. Yeah. Everyone, please like the stream if you haven't already. And also, we're trying to get closer to the goal. If you want to help out, it's pinned up there in the top of the chat, if you would be so kind. Thank you so much.
Let's see. We're almost 30%. Let's see if we can hit 60% at least.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'd be happy with 50. Well, obviously, I'm happy with anything. But, yes, we're trying to creep in that direction. I'm hoping I can have the goal accomplished by the time the Super Bowl is playing on Sunday night.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I see your mom in the chat like every time that I'm here asking about beers and drinking. I rarely ever drink. The last time that I drank, I was in Las Vegas with Jeff, and tomorrow especially, I'm not drinking tonight because tomorrow I'm moving. I've got quite a bit to do in the morning. Like first thing, I've got a bunch of people coming over, so probably no beers for me tonight. I'm sorry. I will try to arrange it at some point because I know that that's a big thing about the show. Where like
I'm not drinking tonight either. So I took like shrooms last night and tripped my balls off and didn't really get good sleep last night, and I woke up early and did like an early stream. You know what really sucks? Like if you've already streamed on a day and then you do another stream, even if it's like hours later, YouTube doesn't normally notify your subscribers about the second stream. It's weird.
That's what I remember you saying something about that, and Jeff and I did the news the day I think that he did his weekly the wingnut or monthly wingnut roundup, and I was like, man, I don't want to kill your numbers, and he was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I've learned that if I do at least a few streams in the morning/afternoon, there are people that are watching then that don't normally get to watch live, and they're willing to send some donos in. So I do that because that's like untapped revenue. So I'm fine with that. The numbers themselves don't matter too much to me because all the numbers are basically pointless in reality. So except for the numbers behind the dollar sign. Those are
that Streamlabs number. That's what really matters.
Yes. So it's pinned in the top of the chat if you want to help out. And if you do like the stream, it might notify a few more people. YouTube doesn't have a manual that tells you how their shit works. You're just supposed to like try things and figure it out on your own.
Right. And then once you get it figured out and you got your own system going, they just change everything on you.
Oh yeah. Oh, yes. Or like there's something that wasn't against the rules that you did in a video 10 years ago, but all of a sudden now it's against the rules, and then they like retroactively punish you for it. You know, like it'd be like if they made something illegal now, but then if you did it, you know, last year when it was legal, they throw you in jail for it, even though it was legal then. Yeah, it's like that.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's craziness. But yeah, like the stream, we're going to get into the news stuff first. Lots of news stuff. It's
looking forward to it, man. I fucking love the news.
It's so dystopian. It's ridiculous.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, man, every day that I get up, and because like Jeff and I have been doing nightly news this morning, occasionally when we can, but like I'm looking at news every day on like Twitter and on Blue Sky, on Ground News, all these places, and I'm looking, and like every day I'm amazed at the amount of shit that they're changing. Like literally just the day before, I'm like, this wasn't even talked about yesterday. How is this? Like we're still dealing with the shit from yesterday and a week ago, and like didn't a fucking plane crash into a helicopter, and then like another plane clipped another plane, and then
in
another
Seattle
plane
there was
yeah,
and then today a plane went missing in Alaska.
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, it was a small plane, like a 10-person, like a 10-seater. But yeah, I don't know if they found it yet or not. I guess I'll have to look for updates on that. Yeah. So here's the thing that blows my mind. If you're an enemy of Elon Musk, I'm pretty sure he can look up your tax records now.
Oh man, like I might need to delete my X account, because so my banner is him giving the salute, you know, and then my profile picture is like the PayPal picture of him, you know, where he's got before he got the hair plugs and everything.
Yeah.
It's picture, but like somebody's cartoonified it, so it looks super dorky. So if you're interested in seeing what it looks like, you can go subscribe to my X as mind the number 4 lease. So,
yeah, check that out. Yeah,
before Elon bans it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Elon can like decide who the IRS audits now. Like he can just like be like, audit that motherfucker. You know?
I thought that they were getting rid of the IRS. That's what they said. They were like, no tax.
I mean, they're not getting rid of taxes, right? If they get rid of the IRS, then they're just going to create a new organization to oversee the taxes. You know?
I heard some people talking about wanting like some kind of like just a broad sales tax, a federal sales tax on everything.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, that's been tossed around for years, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. I like how Trump said tariffs were going to replace income taxes. It's like he obviously doesn't even understand how economics works.
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like tariffs, they're going to make us more rich and the other people more poor, and it's literally just making everybody more poor.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the people who are too rich for it to matter, they're okay.
This free trade agreement, huge mistake, worst thing we've ever done. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, so let's play the news intro and we'll see what's going on out there. Here we go.
He called me sir and got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right, here's Trump calls to close U.S. aid. Or I've heard some people say U.S. aid, and I've heard some people say USAID.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people calling it USAID. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure it's U.S. aid, but I don't know. All right, here it is.
In just the last hour, a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from placing 2,200 employees of the U.S. Agency for International Development on paid leave. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols, who was nominated by Trump, sided with 2 federal employee associations in agreeing to a pause in plans to put the employees on paid leave as of midnight tonight. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington, where President Donald Trump is now calling to close the agency that's helped millions of people around the world, alleging waste and fraud at the agency.
As President Trump calls for USAID to be shut down.
It's absolutely obscene, dangerous, bad, very costly. I mean, virtually every investment made is a con job.
Current and former USAID officials tell ABC News all of their humanitarian work all around the world has effectively stopped. The agency, once supported by First Lady Melania Trump,
working with she was working with them.
So I don't know, man. A lot of the stuff that they said that they've been spending money on is kind of weird. But like, I don't know. I would need to see the receipts, and I haven't looked that far into it. But
I will say that she does kind of make an attractive Carmen Sandiego. And where in the world is she? Can anyone guess?
Couldn't say. Definitely not somewhere Carmen Sandiego in the game would go. She's stealing something.
Yeah.
This aid could soon no longer exist as Elon Musk, under the direction of Trump, looks to severely cut federal spending.
Look at this. I need this picture for a thumbnail. What is this ridiculousness?
He's something else, man. That's our oligarch in chief right there.
Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. He's got a staff that's fantastic.
A staffer at Musk's Department of Government Efficiency resigning after reports linking him to an online account with racist comments.
What a shock.
Big balls account.
Musk now polling users on X on whether Doe should bring that person back.
An X poll. Yeah, those are so accurate. What if Musk is like, maybe we should just do elections as polls on X?
Right? I mean, it's coming, man. It's coming.
I mean, like, I could make like 100 sock accounts and put like 100 votes for whatever I wanted.
You could, but you could never make as many sock accounts as Elon. So
that's true.
President J.D. Vance.
You know, I haven't seen much of J.D. Vance, and maybe I'm just missing the coverage that he's featured in, but I have not seen much of J.D. Vance since the election, or like since they took office.
I think he's just sitting in the background in case Trump has that massive heart attack that everybody's expecting.
He could.
And says the staffer should come back, writing while he disagrees with some of the posts. He says, I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life.
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president.
We're members of Congress. Let us in.
At the Department of Education, another agency Trump wants to dismantle, members of
Yeah, get rid of education. Who needs that?
Congress.
Leave it up to the states.
Okay, states' rights. It should go back to the states. We shouldn't have anything to do with it. Okay, you know, it's okay. I don't.
Yeah, and he's putting the former CEO of WWE in charge of it. But it's like, I'm giving you this job, Linda McMahon, but I'm also going to get rid of the department. Does that mean she's going to... Yeah.
Yeah, what was the guy that he put in charge who was like one of the architects of Project 2025 and he put in charge of one of his departments?
Oh, I can't remember that guy's name right now.
His name's Vote, because I thought it was like Vought, Vote from The Boy. Yeah, but I don't know what he's in charge of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Denied access to the building today as they tried to meet with senior leaders about Trump's plans.
The department was created through an act of Congress, and it cannot be abolished except through an act of Congress.
House Democrats are asking Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate Musk. That is unlikely to happen. The Democrats say Musk has potential conflicts of interest with his federal contracts. His contracts include one that would send the first woman and first person of color to the moon, all while Musk works to cut DEI programs in the federal government. Perry Russell.
The first woman and first person of color to the moon. Okay.
The moon's only ever had white men go to it.
Look how unracist I am. Look how unsexist I am. But it's like they're sending them to the moon. I mean, know.
He's definitely not a Nazi because he went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapipo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not. We'll just ignore the salute, the heiling.
And everything for since.
Let's check out some other stuff here. Elon Musk accused of enacting the largest illegal data breach in U.S. history. I think they're talking about the Treasury stuff. So let's check that out.
Afternoon. I'm honored to join with my colleagues and want to thank the chairman, Richie Neal, for providing leadership, as well as Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I am Stephen Horsford. I represent Nevada's 4th Congressional District, and as a member of the Ways and Means Committee, I want my constituents to know that I'm working hard to defend them every single day. Now, look, the American people elected Donald Trump to run our government for 4 years, not to gut it for generations to come. We only have one president at a time, and nobody voted for Elon Musk. Nobody voted for his hackers. The largest illegal data breach in U.S. history took place on this administration.
But people voted for Trump and they voted for chaos.
Right. I mean, I imagine that there were some people that voted for Trump that wanted this to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and they saw Elon riding his coattails, so they knew Elon was going to be involved somehow. This was not a surprise.
No.
Administration's watch, at this administration's direction. And we still don't know who's in charge or what they're up to. The American people trust our civil service to meet their needs, not the billionaire class. Instead, one man, Elon Musk, can now decide if hardworking Americans receive their tax refunds, when they receive their tax refunds, even who among us will receive one. Democrat or Republican, independent or unaffiliated, nobody in this country agreed to give an unelected oligarch their home address, social security number, bank routing information or account number, individual child support obligations, medical information, and more. He just took it illegally, and Trump let him do it.
I mean, is it illegal? Because even if he broke the law, Trump could just pardon him and be like, all right, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like this kind of goes to show you why you shouldn't give the government all that information, maybe. I don't know, like don't give the government your bank account information or your social security number. Just be like, no.
I mean, the government knows your social security number, right? Because they give it to you. Yeah. Right. So, and like most people have direct deposit for their refunds and everything. So they have that for a lot of people who actually get refunds.
Yeah. Some people are contractors and just have to pay taxes every year.
That's what I do. And they have my bank account information because I have to pay them. So it's hard to even really escape it.
And what's going
on I go to the store and buy a money order. Like make sure that I make an outline of like a giving them the finger on the money order.
Addressed by this co-presidency is really too important to ignore. The Trump taxes, also known as his tariffs, are raising prices on anything coming from some of our closest trading partners and eroding those trading relationships at the same time. Eggs in Nevada are now $9 a carton.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the lowest price I'm seeing. Okay, I actually had to search, but at Walmart there was like a dozen eggs for $5.50. But normally at like QFC, which is basically Kroger, it's owned by Kroger. Usually the cheapest dozen eggs is like $7 and some change. I don't eat eggs, so it doesn't matter that much to me. But I've been looking because I'm curious, and part of it is the avian flu that's going around. That is part of it.
I just want to know why these people think that like electing Donald Trump was going to get them cheaper prices for eggs or anything. Like, where was the logical connection that said Donald Trump cheaper prices? Is it just because he said I'm gonna make the economy great and you believe him? Like
I think he literally mentioned the cost of eggs before the election. Yeah. But I've heard other people say this: when Trump promises something and it sounds good, he's lying and he can't do it. But when it sounds bad, he has every intention of trying to do it.
Like putting tariffs on other countries, and he can totally do that. But making gas and eggs cheaper, he has no power over.
I mean, whatever power he does have, he has no intention of really doing anything about it.
The price for a pound of beef could hit $25. And gas, which was going down, could rise back up to $4 a gallon or more.
Oh, God, it's already over $4 a gallon here.
And it won't stop there. Toys.
See, Washington has the highest gas tax of any state, too. Last summer, we had the highest gas in the nation. And prices were high, like around the 4th of July holiday, but we had the highest cost of gas because it was high anyway, and there was a tax on top of it. Yeah.
So higher than California even.
Yes.
That's insane, man. So we do on our Route 66 tour. There's this Oasis gas station that's between I want to say like Victorville and Needles or something like that. And the price of gas there, the last time that I was there, for regular unleaded all the way up to premium, it was like $8.20, $8.50, $8.90 a gallon. Like the highest I've ever seen anywhere.
Let's see. I'm looking it up right now. You know what? I think I am wrong, though. It looks like California is higher. I heard all over the news that we had the highest gas tax, but maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't know. I know we had the highest cost of gas, like, nationwide at one point here. It was insane. But yeah, it looks like even Illinois has a higher one. So first it's California, 68 cents per gallon. Illinois is second. It's 66 per gallon. Pennsylvania's third. And Washington's fourth. And then it looks like Indiana is fifth and Michigan is sixth. And I'm really surprised Michigan has a really high gas tax. But I'm wondering what their overall price is, you know?
I remember when I lived in Kentucky, gas was pretty cheap there because there were like a bunch of refineries and like storage tanks and stuff pretty close to the border with Tennessee, I think, or something. So they had fairly cheap gas there because they didn't have to transport it very far.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with that. I remember like the cost of gas when I lived in Albuquerque. The cost of gas in Albuquerque was like, 60 cents cheaper a gallon than it was up in Santa Fe. And all you had to do was get on the interstate and drive like 45 minutes north and you'd be in Santa Fe. But there were more wealthy people in Santa Fe, so the price of gas was higher there.
Man, every time that I go to Santa Fe, the price for everything is more expensive there.
Yeah, that's where the more wealthy people live in New Mexico. Yeah.
For children, food on our tables. The technology we rely on, it's all going up. Every Nevadan and every American is right to be alarmed and to feel anxious. This is not functional government. This is not what you voted for. It's government dismemberment. It's chaos. And so as part of my work in making sure that my constituents' voice are heard, I've launched a special website where my constituents can go and share information about the executive orders that have been implemented and how they're affecting their lives. I want to hear from you. I will listen to your concerns, and I'll work hard to defend your efforts. We are here to meet the actual needs of our constituents and to hold President Trump, his puppet master Musk, and their Doge Bros accountable.
Doge Bro!
For their illegal violations of our laws and the United States Constitution.
Good luck! How are you going to hold them accountable? They have the power of the pardon.
Yeah. The checks and balance system is completely gone now. Nope. Like when they rule the Congress and they rule the Supreme Court, you have no way to hold them accountable.
Right. Yeah, they have all three branches of the federal government right now.
And with that, I'll turn it over to a member of the Ways and Means Committee, co-chair of the Problem Solvers, Congressman Tom Suozzi from New York.
The Problem Solver.
The Problem Solver. Here's, this says, Trump says he may fire some FBI agents that he referred to as corrupt. Let's see what this is all about.
Welcome back. President Trump pushing ahead with plans to reshape the government and slash the federal workforce, even in the face of legal challenges.
It comes as the president met with the Japanese prime minister at the White House. Erica Brown reports.
Oh, my God.
A list of FBI agents who investigated the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, it's so clearly retaliatory. Like, people who, they didn't have a dog in the fight, they were doing their job. Their job was to investigate something. Like, they don't get to say no, you know?
You investigated the wrong person, you're going to jail.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, Agent Johnson, we need you to investigate January 6th. That's your job. You can't be like, oh, no, sir, I don't want to do that. It's so stupid. He acts like those specific people were targeting him or targeting them, the rioters.
Capitol has been turned over to the Department of Justice. A group of anonymous agents and an organization representing other FBI employees filed suit earlier this week to block the DOJ from publicly releasing their names. They agreed to provide the names on the condition the DOJ does not release them without 2 days' notice, allowing the union representing the agents time to contest the release in court. In a sweeping order, President Trump pardoned all of the people charged in crimes related to January 6. Now some FBI agents say they're worried they'll be fired for doing their job.
Are you planning to fire the FBI agents who worked on those investigations?
No, but I'll fire some of them because some of them were corrupt. I have no doubt about that. We had some corrupt agents, and those people are gone, or they will be gone, and it'll be done quickly and very searching.
No corruption when Trump's around. No corruption.
If you voted for me, you're not corrupt. If you didn't vote for me, you're corrupt. We need to get you out.
President Trump is also moving forward with dramatic cuts to USAID, the government agency responsible for foreign aid.
I guess 97% of the people have been dismissed.
For now, the administration is planning to retain about 600 of more than 10,000 staffers. Unions are suing to stop the employees from being fired and the agency from being shut down. But Trump says it's needed.
We have to take some of these things apart to find the corruption, and we found tremendous corruption.
President Trump also said he's directed Elon Musk to review operations at the Pentagon, the Department of Education, and other federal agencies for more potential cuts.
Standing today with the Japanese prime.
I was reading about Elon Musk, and somebody had posted a picture of his hair and like different haircuts that he's had throughout the ages.
Yeah.
And like, his haircuts are notoriously bad, just all the time. And somebody posted something about, well, yeah, if you were that rich, you probably wouldn't trust anyone with a blade near your head either.
I mean, he wasn't always that rich, though. You know, like, you know,
Right.
I don't know.
People are like, probably cuts his own hair. That's why it looks so bad.
I think now, since his hair is like hair plugs, I don't think that they grow. Right? I don't think his hair grows.
It's just stuck in that shitty ass position.
Yeah, like on the sides and in the back because of how male pattern baldness works. He, you know, that hair grows, but not on top of his head.
He's had a lot of gender affirming surgeries. We gotta point that out.
Yeah, I wonder if he had the male breast reduction surgery.
I mean, his body is very weirdly shapen. Let's not get it twisted.
The president suggested that Nippon Steel will no longer buy U.S. steel as planned. The Japanese company will instead make a significant investment. Previously, both President Trump and former President Biden vowed to block a proposed merger.
Okay. All right. Here's Trump will unveil reciprocal tariffs to level the playing field. So there's more tariffs coming. Just wait for the market to crash even more. The crypto market's like took a dive ever since those first tariffs against Canada and Mexico were threatened. The crypto market was just like, boo. I thought Trump was supposed to be the big crypto president.
Yeah, everything that he's supposed to have been has been a fucking lie. So,
except for the stuff that sounded really, really, really bad. Like, he's tried a lot of that stuff. Even if it was like an empty gesture, like just thinking he can sign a paper and get rid of birthright citizenship. You can't amend the Constitution with an executive order. He'll try, though.
well, he's gonna set everybody up to have another congressional Congress or whatever they call it, constitutional Congress.
I heard one like magatard being like, oh yeah, you know what? We can put it in front of the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court can overturn. Or no, it wasn't birthright citizenship. It was getting him a third term.
Yeah, holy crap. That cannot happen at any cost.
And you know what they want to do? They want to change the rules so that you can only run for a third term if you didn't serve 2 consecutive terms to like keep Obama out and shit. Because Obama could run if it was just like, oh, you can get a third term.
And if it were Trump or Obama, there's no question who would win there.
I never count Trump out, unfortunately. Like, I want to agree with you so bad, but I after the first time Trump won, I'm like, I am never going to doubt whether or not Trump can win again. I'm never going to doubt.
There are people who are in control of information streams who would just like come up with the most absurd things to say about Obama that would like make people that are on the fence be like, oh, you know, maybe Obama isn't a good choice.
It's funny because like they would their goal is to basically set it up to where literally only Trump can run for a third term. Like,
right.
He's only the second president that's ever had 2 inconsecutive terms, and the other guy's dead, long dead. So it's like,
was it FDR?
No, I think no. They made the 2-term rule after FDR died.
Right.
So he was elected to 4 terms and died during the 4th one.
Right. Okay.
It was Grover Cleveland, I think. I think it was Grover Cleveland that had the 2 inconsecutive terms.
Yeah, I didn't know. Oh.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Grover Cleveland. Someone fact check me that in the chat. I don't feel like looking it up right now.
Bring Grover Cleveland back to life.
Bring him back to life.
Yeah.
Give him some of that
back
adrenochrome.
I imagine that like just his corpse would still probably beat Trump.
I mean, like, he was so long ago, I don't even really know what his affiliation was. You know, and the parties were like opposites back then anyway, so I'm not sure. People were saying yes, it was Grover Cleveland. So all right, here's the tariff video.
You know, Tim, one of the biggest things we were watching for heading into this meeting between Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba and Donald Trump was what would become of the U.S. Steel, Nippon Steel deal. It was blocked shortly before President Joe Biden left office. President Donald Trump really signaled no desire to reverse that decision. He was also opposed to Nippon Steel taking over this Pittsburgh-based American industrial icon. And this morning he reiterated that skepticism of the deal. The prime minister was expected to try to make one last-ditch case for it. And from the news conference, it appears that an outright purchase has fallen.
Hold on. What is this? Oh, okay. They're showing a graph behind him that says unemployment by race, ethnicity. And I'm like, what the fuck is that spike? But it's 2020 when, like, everybody got laid off.
Right.
Yeah. That's what that is.
But Donald Trump was able to secure an agreement from perhaps Nippon Steel to invest significantly in U.S. Steel, perhaps providing a much-needed capital injection into the company. But again, the details are very short. We don't know how much money that would be, how soon it would be, what it would go to, etc. So like a lot of things that we also heard at the news conference, we are waiting on a few more details.
That's what's so interesting to me, because when a company or an individual makes an investment, they get a return for that investment. They get something in return. Typically, it's ownership. We don't know how much ownership, or if any ownership, Nippon Steel would get of U.S. Steel, right?
Well, that's right. And I think the question would be is...
I'm like, which part is about the tariffs? They're talking about the steel, like Japan investing in U.S. Steel.
Right, and because that's been talked about for a while, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, we don't want foreign investment," but like, do you want like China to come and invest in it? Like, this is actually not a bad option. Like, Japan is one of our closest allies. There's not really, I don't know, like I don't personally see a whole lot of problem with it, you know.
No,
and
I mean, like,
if they keep it open, you know, if they keep jobs, you know, in the area, they're keeping money in the area, then like why is it bad?
If they are, really in a lot of ways is a question of control. If they acquire, say, a certain percentage stake, that would, help provide some of that capital that U.S. Steel may need to modernize and to invest in some of its plants.
Nintendo owns a share of the Seattle Mariners. They used to own like most of it, but now they only own a small percentage. I don't remember anyone being like, we don't want the Japanese to own our American baseball teams.
Right.
Yeah.
What threshold would that reach? And certainly the last thing that President Donald Trump wants to see is a change of control in which U.S. Steel would then be truly taken over by Nippon Steel. So we'll have to watch for how much they acquire and what form this investment will take.
Just want to point out that shares of U.S. Steel, which have been up about 8% in the past 3 days, right now is down about 6% in the session, certainly seeing some pressure following that press conference.
This is Bloomberg TV radio.
Yes, we'll have to see where it goes. I am curious about, a lot was said about reciprocal tariffs, and this is the thing that...
All right, here's the thing about the tariffs, let's say.
It certainly continues, Michael, as you know, to put investors on edge and weigh on the equity trade. What new, if anything, do we get from the president? Or what might be coming next week?
Yeah, we did get a little sense of timing. And Carol, you're right. Wall Street has been watching the tariff question very closely, hoping that Donald Trump would not go as far as he had promised during the election campaign. He had pledged to impose tariffs, for example, of up to 60% on additional tariffs of up to 60% on Chinese goods. Other tariff threats we have seen more recently waved against Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, and he didn't say that that's off the table. He said it's on pause. It's like we're going to give it 30 days.
Right.
And a lot of the shit that Canada and Mexico said they're doing was stuff they were already doing. Like the concessions, I think Trump didn't know. So he's like, yeah, I got something out of it. Yeah, the art of the deal.
He's just got to drum up rhetoric for his base and get people to see, he's doing it. He's doing what he said he would do.
The thing where he acts like Canada is equal to Mexico as far as illegal immigration and drug trafficking is ridiculous, and the numbers are there for people to look at. There's more illegal drugs and illegal immigration going into Canada from the United States than there is coming in. The numbers are out there.
Guns too. I was reading the number. I was like, running guns from the United States to Canada is big business, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's more of a black market there. Because handguns and shit are illegal there, or at least you need a very special license to get it. You can have a hunting rifle, but you can't have I don't think you can have a handgun. But Canadians in the chat, you can correct me on that.
And the 10% tariffs that he just imposed on Chinese goods in the last several days. So this is an open question. Now, reciprocal tariffs, the president is looking for equal treatment of U.S. goods. And in short, that means that if another country imposes levies on U.S. products, well, the U.S. would in turn hit goods coming from that country.
It's like a game of tariff chicken. I'll raise it 25%. All right, well, I'll see that and raise it, 35%. It'll just go back and forth. It's so dumb. And it's just powerful people playing games with each other, and we all suffer in the process. I hate it.
Right. Who cares what the pleb class has to deal with? Let them pay some more because nobody's worried about them. This doesn't affect Trump. It doesn't affect Elon Musk if the tariffs go up 50%. They don't care.
And Trump is just, because Trump before was like, tariffs the most beautiful word. It's going to make us rich. You don't know about tariffs. I know about tariffs. And then when he was threatening Canada and Mexico, he's like, yeah, it's probably going to get hard at first. It's like, you didn't say anything like that before.
Is their plan, is that what their plan has been this whole time, is to just pocket that tariff money that comes in? It's like, the tariffs, the 25%, we're just going to put that right in our pockets. That's just going to go right into,
I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. Exactly. It's very strange.
In particular, he is thinking about the European Union and its value-added text. Again, he didn't provide very many details, but he did signal that his team would be meeting Monday to talk about it and perhaps announcing it a little bit later in the week. Although, again, the timing was vague and the details, again, we are looking to find out more. We may be learning first thing the coming week the types of goods and the locations that would be affected.
All right, so stay tuned. I think next week he's supposed to talk about these in more detail. So here's the White House reins in Musk reshaping of the federal government. What does this mean?
Overnight, the Trump administration pressured to hit the pause button, agreeing to temporarily restrict the access of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, to the Treasury Department's sprawling payment system.
He already had access to it, though.
Now they're drawing it back.
Oh.
Great job.
But Treasury is just one part of Musk's plan, which includes changing parts of the government that directly impact millions of Americans. Overnight, the agency in charge of Medicare and Medicaid confirming it's working with DOGE to, they say, find ways to use resources more efficiently, quote, in line with meeting the goals of President Trump. Musk had tweeted of the agency, "This is where the big money fraud is happening." And the Trump administration also potentially shaking up the intelligence community, offering buyouts at the National Security Agency and at the CIA, which recently sent an unclassified email with a list of all employees recently hired, including first names and last initials, to comply with the White House's goal of staff reductions, according to a U.S. official.
We've put a lot of people needlessly at risk here.
Republicans arguing Musk's work is merely a necessary.
Oh, he's almost doing it there. Just got to straighten out that arm a little more.
There's a better photo that they could have used from that, that time. So I was going to say about the USAID thing that I forgot earlier is I heard that there was that Musk has a conflict of interest in gutting USAID because apparently USAID came into conflict with Starlink over providing internet to Ukraine and Russia at the same time during the conflict or something like that. I haven't looked too far into it. I heard about it. I meant to do a deeper dive and I did not, but there is supposedly some kind of conflict of interest there, which wouldn't surprise me why the world's rikest man decides to go after him.
Rikest man.
Review.
I think they're doing right by the American taxpayer.
The most dramatic change so far, the U.S. Agency for International Development, effectively shut down. Yesterday, billionaire Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates heading to the White House to meet with President Trump, later telling Savannah he made the case for foreign humanitarian assistance and USAID.
I know all the development agencies of all the countries, and this is the best of them.
Did they seem receptive? Did the president?
Yeah, Bill Gates is pushing a book right now. He basically admits that if he had been like a kid today, he would have been diagnosed with the tisms. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's called source code.
And a lot of people are saying stuff like that, and it just...
I mean, he does strike me as a little tismy. He strikes...
I guess Musk is tismy too.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Gates had that like stereotypical, like kind of like nerdy, socially awkward kind of thing going on. Did you ever see him? Did you ever see the Microsoft like? It was like an employee like pep rally basically, and Musk is or not Musk, but Gates is like trying to dance. It's so bad. Oh my God, it's so bad. I wonder if I can find it.
Receptive to Susie Wiles? Seem receptive?
I hope so.
With protests nationwide over the early Trump administration policies, Democrats saying their constituents are concerned about Musk.
I will say Bill Gates is addicted to hamburgers. And if you see him, like if you go to like Dick's Drive-In here, there's a lot of times where he'll just be there by himself, like waiting in line to get a burger. It's pretty crazy.
We need to shut down the Musk operation.
Republicans argue this is Donald Trump making good on his campaign pledge.
He is delivering on his promise made to the American people.
And as tonight's deadline approaches for federal workers to accept the administration's buyout offer, also known as deferred resignation, we're learning that more than 40,000 have taken the deal. That's according to two sources. But that's far short of the White House's expected goal of 5 to 10% of the federal workforce to take the offer. So the question is, will there eventually be job cuts? That's something that is still being discussed. And the other thing that Donald Trump was working on yesterday was signing an executive order banning transgender women and girls from competing in women's sports.
All the important issues. Thank you, Trump.
The order would take federal.
I think that it's a pretty good guess that if they're doing this, if they're saying, "Hey, we're going to buy you out of your salary and everything," and if you don't take it, that cuts are more than likely the next thing to come.
Funds away from any schools that don't comply. President Trump signing this on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. This is something that Donald Trump has amplified. He's made this issue.
And he doesn't actually give a shit about it.
Big deal on the campaign trail. And
he just knows it's a divisive issue that a lot of dumb shits out there care about.
The key theme of his overall campaign.
With all those girls behind him as he was signing the executive order, that was creepy as fuck. And one of the girls is, "God bless you, Mr. President."
Used in a lot of campaign ads during the November election. Now, a number of states and legal groups have vowed to mount legal challenges, but already the NCAA announcing that it would comply with the order across all sports. Craig, back to you.
All right, Ryan. Oh yeah, here's the thing I was talking about. I guess this was the Windows 95 launch party. Here's Eric July photoshopped without his beard, by the way. Yeah, check this out. I'll turn down the music because I don't know if it's caught. Look at Bill Gates. Look at them.
All these dorks.
Yeah, trying to dance in their polo shirts.
That's such a great time, man. Bald Steve from Blue's Clues over there.
That's Paul Allen, I think.
Dude, I think that that hairdo that Gates has in this, I think that I had that same fucking hairdo in middle school, man. And that's what I was gonna say is all these dorks are like, "Oh, I've got the tism, oh this and that." If you got the shit beat out of you in school, all of this would have been solved. You would have figured it all out. That's just what you needed. Because I was the same way, and I just got the shit beat out of me 6 or 8 or countless times, and I kind of turned out better. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
Here's the news story about the missing plane.
Breaking news from overnight. Search and rescue efforts continue for a missing plane with 9 passengers and 1 pilot out of Alaska. The Bering Air Caravan left yesterday afternoon. It has not been seen since. According to our sister station in Anchorage, difficult weather conditions are making it tougher for rescuers.
It's a bad time to be on a plane, apparently.
Yeah, it
is. Basically, you can't see anything from the air or the ground. And in the dark, looking for something at zero visibility is going to be a tough job.
Multiple agencies right now are working on the search for the missing plane and its passengers. The disappearance marks the 3rd major incident in U.S. aviation in 8 days.
Oh, they found the wreckage. It did crash. I just looked it up. Here's the update on it. So it has crashed. They found the wreckage of it about an hour ago. Let's play this update. It's a bummer, but usually when a plane goes missing, it's not a good sign.
We begin tonight with that mystery disappearance of a passenger plane in Alaska. We have just learned there are reports now it's just been found. The plane had vanished with 10 people on board, the 3rd major aviation incident in 9 days. These are the images coming in at this hour. Just moments ago, the Coast Guard finding the plane 34 miles southeast of Nome. At least 3 bodies have been found inside the wreckage so far. The FAA tonight saying the plane operated by Bering Air was flying over the Bering Sea on its way to Nome. Flight data showing a steep drop in altitude before all contact was suddenly lost. The Coast Guard searching Norton Sound, the flight about 12 miles from shore when it vanished. The plane flying in low visibility, snow and gusting winds. ABC's Trevor.
What a nightmare. I don't like the smaller planes. It just seems like the smaller planes seem to have more problems, but maybe that's just anecdotal.
Oh no, it's not anecdotal at all. There's a huge safety safety rating drop, like where get into a bigger commercial flight and you're a lot safer, and then you get into one of these small little prop planes and it's like the chance of a crash is like increased by a lot.
The La Bamba plane. You ever seen the movie La Bamba?
No, I haven't.
Well, the guy that sang the song La Bamba in the 50s, his name was Richie Valens, and he was on an airplane with Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper the day the music died. It was
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That
was a little plane.
Tonight, that tragic discovery. The Coast Guard says they found the wreckage of a plane that vanished over the open water in Alaska. They believe all 10 people on board are dead. Authorities releasing this image of the mangled plane on the sea ice.
Not
the Coast
good.
Guard saying it was spotted overhead by helicopter. The Bering Air single-engine Cessna took off from Unalakleet shortly after 2:30 Thursday afternoon, headed for Nome. But about 40 minutes into the flight, the plane disappearing from radar over the Norton Sound, about 12 miles from shore.
Low altitude alert, Bering Air 445. Check your altitude immediately.
Seconds later,
Bering Air 445, Anchorage Center, radar contact lost.
This aircraft experienced some kind of event which caused them to experience.
I guess the engine died, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Something happened.
Yeah.
They lost controls.
They have this thing around here that looks cool where like you can take one of those like float planes, with the like the ones that like float on the water.
Right.
And they offer flights from Seattle to like Vancouver and Victoria, Canada. And it always looks seaplanes. They're like affordable, and it's like the quickest way to get up there.
Right.
But I'm always like those kind of planes are kind of scary,
Yeah, probably not as safe as flying out of SeaTac, I would imagine.
I don't know. Probably not.
A rapid loss in elevation and a rapid loss in speed.
this time-lapse video from hours after the plane vanished shows snowy conditions at the Nome airport where the plane was headed. ATC telling the pilot the runway was temporarily closed as the plane approached.
One of the things that the NTSB will look at, was there a problem? Did the aircraft ice up, and did that lead to a loss of control?
It's the third major aviation incident in just over a week. Last Wednesday, 67 people killed in that mid-air crash between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines plane in Washington, D.C. In the last 24 hours, crews lifting the Black Hawk out of the river amid reports a key safety system was turned off before the collision. Last Friday, a medical transport jet crashing in Philadelphia, killing 7 people in all. Voice recorder found 8 feet deep inside that crater.
And David, back to that Alaskan plane crash. We have now heard from the Coast Guard that this was located 34 miles southeast of Nome, its intended destination. You see all the snow and ice there. While this investigation is still ongoing, FAA data does show this aircraft has a history of icing problems, David.
Yeah, just a horrific scene there and an unsettling week and a half for sure in aviation. Trevor Ault leading us off here on the breaking news.
Unsettling week in aviation. That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't think we're going to watch this whole video because it's really long, but it seems to keep happening here in Seattle. The Attorney General in Washington is taking these things to the federal court here, like the thing that blocked the ban on birthright citizenship. And I think now this is about gender affirming care.
And in his attempt to implement a corrupt vision for America. And so this morning, my staff filed a lawsuit in federal.
Oh, is that it? Oh, you know what? This video's let me see. Yeah, the video's corrupted. Let me see if I can play it somewhere else. Hold on. I'm going to play a different video while I grab this one. Here's full remarks from President Trump with the Japanese Prime Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the...
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with the Prime Minister. We had a picture taken a little while ago, and it was so nice I thought I'd present it to you on stage. And here's I wish I was as handsome as him, but I'm not.
That's weird to hear the translate. Look, he's always holding up things for everyone to see.
Yeah, I think that this is part of his dementia. He's losing his mind, and he's like, look, see, I've got this thing, and it's so nice. Let me show you how nice my things are. I don't know.
It reminds me of when I was in, like, you know, the early grades of elementary school, and our teacher would read us books that had pictures, and at the end of, like, every page, she'd hold up the book to show the entire class the pictures in the book.
Sure.
It's ridiculous.
Well, he wasn't like this the first time around, was he? Like, he didn't have this obsession during his first administration about, look what I've got, let me show you. This is the best signature that anybody's ever done, you know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, he was holding up shit that he signed during his first term. Definitely. Like, I remember.
Maybe I was paying attention less back then. I don't
He
know.
was. He would do it all the time. We had an old thumbnail that was pretty funny. Back in the day, people were like photoshopping different shit in it. Like one time I saw one, it looked like a kindergartner drew a picture, and that's what he was holding up.
Nice.
Okay, thank you. Oh.
Oh my God.
Remember that day? Thank you very much, everybody. I'm delighted to welcome Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru to the White House for the first time. Prime Minister, it's an honor to have you
I kind of wish the translation wasn't playing over it.
with us. A great honor. Japan is a great country. Very much. Japan is strong and proud. It's a nation that is home to one of the great.
See, when he's reading, he's fine. It's when he goes off the cuff that, and you can tell the difference. It's so drastic.
Civilizations in the history of the world. For nearly 80 years, the American-Japanese people have enjoyed a friendship like few others.
Did he say the American-Japanese people?
The American and Japanese people.
Okay, I knew that's what he meant, but I didn't know if he actually said that.
Across the vast ocean.
Oh, shit.
Found ourselves united by bonds of history, commerce, culture, mutual admiration, and great respect. After our meeting today, I'm confident that the cherished alliances between our two countries and others also will continue to flourish long and into the future. The military cooperation between the United States and Japan.
All right, I can't listen to it because the translation over it is just like too much. So I'm going to move on to something else.
I think I'm alone in this group.
This is weird. It gets kind of contentious here. And I want to know where the viewing audience falls on this. They do kind of go back and forth here.
I think I'm kind of afraid to be alone in this group. I surveyed these people. I focus grouped them. And they are really, really tired of being accused of either racism or sexism because they voted for Donald Trump. And it's one of the reasons why so many of them did. I sat on this stage with you.
Hold on, though. If they're racist because they voted for Trump, then why is that the reason they voted for Trump? That's like circular logic right there, right?
They're saying that being called racist is what drove them to, they're like, oh, well, if you're calling me racist for voting for Donald Trump, I guess I should just go ahead and vote for him. Is that the logic there?
He's saying two things. He's saying people voted for Trump because they were tired of being called racist because they were voting for Trump. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Shoot out when I suggested there's a better language to reach out to voters, that there's...
Oh, I did not misunderstood you, Mom. You're just a bumbling fool.
I think I'm alone in this group.
All right, listen to what he says here.
I think I'm kind of afraid to be alone in this group. I surveyed these people. I focus grouped them. And they are really, really tired of being accused of either racism or sexism because they voted for Donald Trump.
Okay, so they voted for Donald Trump because... Hold on, no. They were being accused of racism or sexism because they voted for Donald Trump.
Right.
But then he's saying that's why they voted for him.
Well, he hasn't said that yet. I think that's what he's
And
about
it's
to
one
say.
of the reasons why so many of them did.
Yeah.
So which one comes first?
People are being tired of being accused of being sexist and racist for voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's saying people were accused of being sexist and racist because they voted for Trump, but then he's also saying they voted for Trump because they were being accused of being sexist and racist.
Right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, how can you have it both ways?
I sat on this stage with you and got chewed out when I suggested there's a better language to reach out to voters, that the Harris campaign is missing what they're looking for. And I say the same thing here. Americans just want to be Americans, not hyphenated Americans, not female Americans, black Americans, Jewish Americans. They just want to be Americans.
How do you think it makes people feel, black people, women, any person who has immutable characteristics about themselves, to be told every time that something happens that because they exist in a particular role, it is their fault? How does it make them feel?
How does it make people feel when they're told that they're a racist?
No. I mean, answer. But answer my question.
I am, because these are predetermined considerations.
No.
You were going
You're
to
assuming. You're telling me I'm.
Do you
calling
want an
you,
answer?
Well, you're not answering my question. You're telling
Yes,
me.
I'm trying to.
You were
No, you're
telling
not.
me
Actually,
that.
Your response is in bad faith. I mean, what she is saying is something you're not responding to because it doesn't address why Donald Trump immediately went to DEI as an explanation without any evidence whatsoever for what looks to be an inexcusable and certainly a very devastating and tragic plane and helicopter crash a couple of days ago. And instead, you pivot to talking about how terrible it is that some people who voted for Donald Trump are being called racist and sexist. You're refusing to grapple with the central tension.
My understanding.
Frank, it's an option.
Hold on.
Frank, it's an
because
option
my
for
understanding
Trump.
is of the voter.
Frank,
that is what I do.
It is
I'm
an
opposed-
option.
What about
for
the immorality
Hold on.
and the incompetence
Frank,
of
it's an
blaming
option
DEI
for Donald
for what
Trump.
happened?
You guys can all jump on me. That's
No,
fine.
I'm not jumping on you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Okay, look, it is an option for Donald Trump to respect his voters and not scapegoat race in a situation like that. He chooses not to every time. Why?
He is saying, and I do not defend him, and I've not defended him on this program, because there are things that are more important than Republican and Democrat, and it's why some people lost primaries, and some people are not members of Congress anymore. I'm trying to tell you the truth.
Look, you don't have to listen. I just won my primary, but you don't have to lecture me.
Hold on, Mondare. Let me let him finish.
I mean, if you're gonna throw shots, I'm
Mondare, just a second. Let me let him finish.
This is why this show is such a challenge for me, because I really am, and I've been on this show and criticized him many times. I've been on the show and praised him. In the end, how do we get beyond how we look? How do we get beyond how we sound? Because in the end, we all have a right to a point of view, and I respect yours. Regardless,
I just don't respect the gaslighting and the bad faith conversation.
I also think you cannot
gaslighting. You're
talk about
gaslighting.
Austin Krasinski said he sounds like Mark Hamill too. You know, he looks like if Mark Hamill and George Lucas started merging into one person.
Mark Hamill was pretty chunky for a while there before he got back into Star Wars. He was getting pretty big. But yeah, I can see it. This guy's a well-known pollster, and sometimes I've seen him, and he's made kind of sensible points, but I don't see it this time. I don't see him like he...
I mean, making any kind of point like, okay, the voters feel differently, sure, and the voters don't like to be called racist and sexist for who they vote for. Okay, but like, look at what's going on. Look at what's been happening since day one. Look at what they told us that they were going to do, and then they literally started doing. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Beyond all of those things, race, hyphens, whatever it is, when at the highest offices of the land, you have someone saying, because there is diversity, there is a lack of merit, there is a lack of quality, there is a lack of experience. That is a racist view, that people who have characteristics that they cannot change about them, that don't tell you anything about their intellect, about their experience, are by definition not experienced.
By the way, this is the obligatory please like the stream because it helps out the stream a lot. And also, if you want to help us get closer to the goal, it's pinned in the top of the chat. Who's gonna pop the dono cherry on tonight's stream? It could be you.
Can we get a Jared? Can we get a 2-minute Jared?
You understand that?
I do, because I listen to this, I hear this, and I internalize it. And for those who feel like they're being marginalized, we have to do more. I agree with you.
It's not even just about being marginalized. It's just about recognizing
I just said I agree with you.
I know. I'm saying, but look, I'm not trying to use academic. I'm not trying to use academic language to talk about this. I'm just saying that there are people. Look, a couple days ago, there was a Harvard-educated Olympic track star was told that she wasn't qualified to have gone to Harvard, that she was basically a DEI admit to Harvard. That just from a human perspective,
wrong.
that is
we
wrong.
all agree that's wrong.
May I ask you a question about this?
Do we all agree that's wrong?
I disagree that's wrong.
With that, but there's nothing I can say to you on this panel for any of you that's going to satisfy
No.
you.
May I ask you a question about
this? And that's the problem.
So you're saying Americans felt alienated by the way Democrats talked about some of these things?
Yes.
Okay. But do you think that this is the antidote? I think that's the question here. I mean, you can be critical of terms that Democrats have used, but it's not clear to me how this approach is better. In fact, it seems exponentially worse to be scapegoating, whether it's hyphenated Americans or otherwise, any group of Americans for this tragedy, to be purging government data from websites under the guise of DEI and rooting out wokeness. I guess that's where I think there's a bit of a disconnect here. It's like,
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. And you're probably surprised. That's the goal in all of this. How do we get to the point when we are judged by our merit, when you're judged by our performance? I've had two experiences. Number one is my house almost burned down in Brentwood. I wasn't even there to see it. And I want the best people possible to be on the front lines fighting that fire. I landed 55 minutes before this plane landed. I could have been on it. So I feel it. I hear
My
this.
house could have burned down. I could have been on this plane. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, I don't understand how that. You weren't on it.
Your house didn't burn down. You weren't on the plane. Just chill the fuck out.
Yeah, sounds like you're fine.
Get it.
Yeah.
And you're correct, and you're correct. The question is, do we beat up on it and yell about it and complain, or do we try to get a solution? Do we try to get beyond it? And the problem is, there's nothing I can say that's going to convince you.
But in order for us to get beyond it, Donald Trump and the woke right, they have to stop talking.
The woke right. I've never heard that before. That's interesting.
About it. The reason that we're talking about it is because it was a deliberate decision that the Trump administration made. I would much rather be talking about the economy and some of the other things.
And this guy's a member of the Black Americans for Trump coalition. So that's interesting. Hello, doggy.
I know that the Donald Trump administration is going to do, but we're not in the now second week of the Trump administration. We are ending it talking about DEI because this was a decision that they made.
And to be clear, our discussion of it is not out of nowhere. It's not something we created out of whole cloth. It doesn't mean that we're harping on something that the American people would rather we not talk about. It is responding directly.
For Penny, come on, donate for Penny, you guys. Come on, look at.
No, that's a cute dog.
To something that happened.
And the only person who, to your point, injected race into this is Donald Trump. We could be having a very normal investigation into a national tragedy, comforting these families. But this is the conversation that not only do they want to have, but they are making it the only conversation around what happened here. And that is not just wrong from a moral perspective, but it's also a missed opportunity to keep Americans safe.
Well, both the president and Secretary Hegseth, I believe, said in that press conference in the briefing room that elevation was probably the issue here. It seems to be the case with the helicopter. And to your point, I mean, they were likely right in the moment, immediately after. And here it has been completely hijacked by something else. I do think, though,
that's a nice use of the passive
Can I just say one thing about that? Just because we just had a whole conversation about this crash, the elevation is a fact, right? They were at the wrong elevation. The question is, and what the investigation will find out, is what actually caused that to happen. And yes, he did say, "Oh, the elevation is the problem," but then he said it's because of DEI and because of a lack of standards as a result of diversity initiatives. So Trump is diagnosing the problem by saying that the blame is actually on this thing that we don't know had anything at all to do with it.
Right, which is the part where I said then he hijacked the point that he was trying to make about the elevation. But, Frank, you're the master of language, so you probably have a better way of articulating this than I do. The conversation that I do think...
Okay.
I realized Jeff didn't feed her before he left. So.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Needs to be taking place in this country. And unfortunately, Donald Trump uses DEI as the euphemism for it, is we have low...
They used to use CRT.
Word standard.
Now it's DEI. What's the next three-letter acronym that they will demonize next?
Across the board. We have lowered standards across the board in the name of entertainment, in the name of whatever. And it's happening. It's happening in education. It's happening in sports. It's happening in the workplace. And that is a conversation that I think is legitimate and needs to be had.
All right. So there's that. That's what we got. Let's check out. Here's our favorite press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. Let's see how she handles some of this questioning here.
So your colleague to your right, to my
Thanks,
left.
Caroline.
Yes.
Taylor with Spectrum News. You talked a bit about Doge. Elon Musk is currently a, quote, special government employee who also owns companies that have billions of dollars in federal contracts. You said earlier this week that he has abided by all applicable federal laws, but what steps is the Trump administration taking to address that conflict of interest?
The president was already asked and answered this question this week, and he said if Elon Musk comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that Doge is overseeing, then Elon will excuse himself from those contracts.
Doubt it.
And he has, again, abided by all applicable laws. In the back left, go ahead.
Trade advisor Peter Navarro.
She's only 27. She's the youngest press secretary ever. Trump knows what he likes. Trump knows what he likes. He's probably like, if she wasn't my press secretary, maybe I'd be dating her. That was that whole clip right there. Here is... I want to cover that one last. Get rid of that. Here's Pam Bondi. She's confirmed as the Attorney General. Let's see what she's doing.
Meanwhile, immigration advocates in the city spoke out today in protest of President Trump's immigration policies. Eyewitness News reporter Janice Yu is live in the East Village with the very latest. Janice.
Well, a lot of the things that were brought up during the two rallies today was the authorization for immigration officials to enter what are called sensitive locations. So places like houses of worship, hospitals, and even social gatherings. And Mayor Eric Adams
Christmas party
is continuing to meet with Trump. And so while the immigrant community continues to live in fear, critics say that the mayor isn't doing enough to ease their concerns.
And I will fight violent crime throughout this country and throughout this world and make America safe again.
On her first day as Attorney General, Pam Bondi took aim at cities that limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities, ordering a 60-day pause on funding for sanctuary cities. The Adams administration
she and Trump's chief of staff both worked at the same lobbying company.
I'm not surprised. I know she had a lot to do with, trying to help Trump steal the last election. So
yeah, she and that lady, I can't remember what the name of it is, but ever since the election and people found out that both she and his chief of staff came from the same lobbying company, that lobbying company has made a lot of sales since then.
Making it clear it has been cooperating with ICE agents during targeted operations throughout the city.
They have the responsibility to carry out their job as immigration officials. I don't determine that. And I cannot have any city employee that will get in the way of them carrying out their job as a federal authority.
But fear and outrage.
That said, underneath it should say "cuck for Trump."
Continue to grow in the city as critics say the mayor should not be helping the Trump administration carry out its executive orders.
I am particularly disappointed that we have a mayor who is more of an assistant to Donald Trump than a mayor for New York City.
Damn, that's bad for him. The Democrat mayor of New York is being viewed as an assistant to Trump.
Church in the Bowery, advocates and local leaders sounded the alarm over the Trump administration now authorizing immigration enforcement in places like schools and houses of worship.
Everyday activities such as medical appointments, picking up groceries, and attending church are now something that our family members have to consider. Are we safe here?
And outside Kings County Hospital, local leaders raised similar concerns, specifically about the city's public hospital system, telling its staff do not help patients avoid ICE officials.
We know very well this hospital serves a huge amount of immigrants in this communities, children, families, when last time I was here, I was told that patients stopped coming for their care because they were scared.
Well, we're told ICE has detained more than 100 people in the New York City area just in the past week. Live in the East Village, Janice Yu, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right. I saw this funny political cartoon the other day that I'll show to you really quick here. I like political cartoons because it's really interesting how they make their point, usually just through one image.
Pizza cake.
This one's how tariffs work, and it's Trump pissing into a fan and it flying back into his face.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was amusing.
He doesn't. I know that people are talking about trying to get him a third term, but like part of me thinks that like he's doing all of this shit because he doesn't care. Like he's like, I'm not running again. I would be the oldest. He would be the oldest. I mean, he's already going to be the oldest.
I think ideally he doesn't want to run. He just wants to like be there for life. I think he wants that. He's obsessed with the power, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I saw this one. I saw this one too. Tread on me, please, dear super rich daddy.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
remember 10 plus years ago, it was the Tea Party, and they're like, don't tread on me. But now they want to be treaded on so badly.
We'll lay down to an oligarch, whatever.
Yeah. It used to be like the elites. We don't like the elites. Here's New York Attorney General to sue over Doge access to Treasury information.
Developing tonight now, Attorney General Letitia James suing to stop the Treasury Department from sharing private personal information with Doge. That's the Trump administration's new efficiency task force. James is one of 12 attorneys general.
It's such a dumb name. They came up with the Doge part of it first and then created like the words that it stands for. It's so dumb. I hate it.
Yeah, it's such a terrible agency. He's got a bunch of impressionable kids working for him that have never done anything, and so they think that like this guy can do no wrong. He's a god. Like I guarantee you that they all have a fucking hero complex around Elon Musk, and they're literally like tweeting right wing bullshit. Like, get rid of it.
Yep.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
banding together for this.
At first, everyone was like, oh, that's not really going to happen. They're just talking out of their ass. It's like, well, now we have it. It did happen. It exists.
Lawsuit.
Well, I think they say because there was a precedent to think that, because like he said during the last time that he ran, we're going to build the wall. We're going to build the wall. No wall got built. I mean, like maybe towards the end they built like a few miles or something like that. But like, and then this time around, like everybody was like, oh, everything that he says is just rhetoric. And as soon as he fucking got voted in, man, like on the 20th, day one, it was like, we're going to start changing shit. Like everything's going to be different. That was the America that was. This is the America that will be.
I mean, he built a little bit of wall, but he tried. They wouldn't fund it. There was enough Democrats, they had enough Democrats in Congress to stop it from happening, and he let the government shut down for a minute too.
It wasn't just the Democrats in Congress. Like Paul Ryan didn't want to have anything to do with them either. Like he wouldn't bow down to him. Like the Republicans that were in control were like, no, you don't run the party. Like we run the party.
Now he does. Where's Paul Ryan now? Any Republican that opposed Trump was purged from the party. Now you must kiss Trump's ring.
There is only one Republican left who will even like attempt to stand up, and it's mostly just in like a token effort, and that's the Turtle. But I think that after the falls that he's been taking, like he doesn't have much time left anyway.
Yeah, he's on his way out. I think he's retiring at the end of his term. Here's our buddy Bill O'Reilly. Have you seen him lately?
God.
Let's see what he has to say. Do it live.
Why didn't this happen a year ago? It could have. Because Biden didn't give a hoot, didn't care at all. He didn't care. The Mexican government can't stand up to the United States demands for security at the southern border. And Trump knows that.
Frankly, Miss Piggy, I don't give a hoot.
So 3 weeks into his administration, he basically said, look, you're either going to put your soldiers there or we're going to ruin your economy.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I say, right on.
Okay, I hear you, though, if it actually happens, okay? I've been down to the border. The cartels control the border. The Mexican military does not. You really think these 10,000 soldiers are going to come in and kick all the cartel gunmen out? They're going to be the law and order, non-corrupt Mexican military, Bill? Come on.
What do you think? There's a magic wand here? This is a process. So the cartels have been designated as terror outfits. If they don't recede, you're going to see dead bodies all over the place. And that's coming soon, courtesy of the United States. But basically now you have Mexican military, Rio Grande, American military, and deportation. That's a pretty stringent trifecta when it comes to this kind of thing. And you compare it with Biden, who did nothing.
That's true.
Nothing to solve the problem. And it makes me angry that a president who comes in and is at least trying to do good things on the border and stop the drugs and everything else. Look, if the cartels won't surrender or stop, then the next step is Trump will start to drop drones on them. And I fully expect that might happen.
Well,
that's called declaring war on another country, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly wants Trump to send in attack drones to fight the cartels.
Yeah. Bad take. I don't know, man.
There you go. Bill, I've never seen you. I've seen you this animated. I've seen you this happy, but I've never seen you both animated and happy in this way.
Happy.
You're
misreading happy.
Giddy.
I don't want anyone to get hurt, and I don't want particularly migrants to be caught in.
The luckiest guy of all time. He won twice, has a cult, and survived COVID and July 13th.
He did. I mean, it's lucky in some ways, right? And he impregnated his daughter. Jeff always does that, like Barron is Ivanka's son.
Jeff got that from me.
Oh, did
that
he?
was years. Oh yeah, years ago. I was like, I think that I think that Ivanka is actually really Barron's dad, and like he thought it was so funny that like he started saying it all the time.
It is funny, but honestly, like Slovenian people have a lot of height in their genes. Melania is pretty tall for a woman. When you see her standing next to Trump, they're almost the same height. So
I mean, Ivanka is also really tall, though. Let's not get it.
Yeah, her mom was like an Olympic athlete, but I'm pretty sure Melania's taller.
I think Tiffany's a short one. That's probably why he hates her.
Marla May. Well, he doesn't quite get along with her mom the least. His first wife passed away, but he still got along with her. But yeah, Tiffany's mom, Marla, I don't think Marla aged very well. If you look up Marla Maples now, she still looks really good. Like, yeah, that was his only wife he didn't import from another country. But yeah, if you look at the NBA, usually if there's a white player on a team, he's like the tallest guy and he's from Slovenia. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Is Ivanka's mom his first wife or his second wife?
Ivanka's mom is his first wife. Her name was Ivana.
And she's dead now?
She died like last year or the year before. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
A situation where they're in danger.
Okay, what if I change happy to enthusiastic?
She buried it for a while ago.
I want what's best for the country.
Yeah, I think she is buried on a golf course.
No.
Pretty sure.
No. Oh, no, that's so bad. That is so
What's
bad.
best for the country is to stop the massive flow of narcotics coming in here and to stop
It's our responsibility to stop things from coming in. It's not their responsibility to stop things from leaving and coming into our country. That's how the border works. Like when I go to Canada or any other country, I talk to the border security of the country I'm entering. And then I talk to the US border security when I come back.
Heck yeah.
That's how it works.
Supervised illegal immigration. That's what's best for the United States. I don't give a whit about Mexico. They can do whatever they want down there. But Trump has taken steps to mitigate the damage that Biden caused, and that is a fact.
Okay. I think you've been right on the border. You've been talking about the border since I started watching, even before you and I worked together. So I get that. I get that. You think about the other things Trump is doing over the weekend, and this reporting caught my eye from Mike Allen. I think you and I would both agree, a very well-sourced reporter here in D.C. New insight on the Pentagon rotating out NY Times, NBC News, NPR, Politico out of workspace. Hope those hit pieces on Pete, meaning Pete Buttigieg, were worth it. A source close to the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, but not involved in the decision-making, tells Axios. To me, this reads as the retribution is no longer done behind the scenes. These are now overt threats, overt action. Maybe not what you do, but how you do it matters. Do you approve of how this is being done?
Black guy's part of my face matters.
I don't have an opinion on how it's being done. I think the more important story is Friday night when 20 field officers of the FBI were involved with a massive purge. Can you imagine FBI agents actually escorting their peers in their same office out the door? That's a much more important story than dopey NPR.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be getting a dime of taxpayer money because the propaganda outfit, not having an office at the Pentagon. I don't care about NPR. I don't care where their office is. If
you don't care about it, then why are you talking about it?
Done it if I were President Trump? Probably not. Okay? It is a little bit petty, but the FBI is the bigger story. Because that's a purge.
And you think, and you agree or disagree?
I would have done it, but I don't have the case files. So maybe the purge was too much. I'm not in a position to make that kind of a judgment because I don't know. But overall, the message.
Well, Trump is, and it doesn't matter because he doesn't like them. He doesn't like being investigated. He doesn't want any of this shit. He's going to gut the FBI, put his unqualified sycophant Kash Patel in charge, and that's what we have now.
First, he'll offer them a buyout until September. You know, the same thing that he did with these other agencies. You know, that judges have deemed unconstitutional.
Yep.
Message is, if you work for the FBI, CIA, or any other intelligence agency that is designed.
DP Army, thank you, young RJ. All right, now we've got two donations this stream. Help us out, guys, if you want. If you would be so kind, use the link pinned in the top of the chat. Throw us a couple bucks. And thanks to both Robot Chicken MLP and young RJ for being our first two donos of the night. Thank you, guys.
Trying to protect American people, you cannot have an open ideology. You got to button it.
Well, and to be fair,
that is the message.
To be fair to these FBI agents, it appears as though there's a lot of FBI agents who were walked out who it may not have been about ideology, right? To the idea that in 2 weeks they did thorough investigations.
Thanks for watching.
Wow, that was a weird place to cut the clip off, but whatever.
Right.
All right. What are we doing? Dem sounds alarm on state of DNC. Let's see what this is.
But the party is
Oh, it's Dana Perino.
still having a bit of an identity crisis after the 2024 election losses. The Wall Street Journal said Democrats have a new
Old
leader,
school Fox Blonde.
but haven't come to grips with failure. Faz Shakir is a former candidate for DNC chair and former campaign manager.
Yes! Yes!
Way to be Jay Spoon.
Yeah!
Look at how happy it makes Ben. At a certain point, like for a moment, for a couple frames, you can see like Jared Chen mold into Ben.
Yeah. Yeah. My goal is to finish, at the latest, I want to finish the goal by Sunday morning. If we can knock it out tomorrow, that would be amazing. It's been a little tough lately, but, you know, either way, Sunday morning, I would love, you know, I probably will stream, like, while I'm watching the Super Bowl, because I usually do that. So.
You know, people can interact with watch the Super Bowl, and you guys can all talk about it and shit. That's
yeah, you know, I've found that when I watch sporting events and react to it, I don't get a lot of donos. Sometimes I do, but not usually. But you never know, I guess. Yes,
right.
Jay Spoon.
43.67%. I think like we can do 50 at least tonight.
I was
maybe
hoping we could
60.
get at least to 50. And now Matt's leaving at 10, so hopefully we can reach that milestone by the time we hit 10 Pacific time. So it's 7:46 right now.
Yeah, I gotta move tomorrow, so I gotta leave early. God damn it.
Have you heard of, oh wait, okay. Have you heard, I started watching this new, and we'll get back to the video in a second. Today I started watching this new animated show that's being made for Adult Swim, but they also have it on Max, which is like HBO's streaming platform. And it's, Mike Judge is the executive producer, and he does a bunch of the voices in it.
Oh, man.
It's called Common Side Effects, and it is fucking crazy. It's very violent, and it's about this guy who's like a mycologist, and in the middle of, I think, like Central America, he found this mushroom that is basically the cure for everything. Like, it can even bring you back from the dead. Like, if you, like... Yeah, and I've only watched 2 episodes, and there's already been a few times where, like, he should have died, but he ate one of the mushrooms before, and the pharmaceutical industry is trying to kill him because of this. Because it's a natural thing that can cure basically any disease.
Right. Sounds like it's a good a good MacGuffin plot device to use to just be able to tell any kind of story that you want to be able to tell at any point.
It's pretty cool. Like, I was watching it, and it's really good. Like, I'm dissatisfied with a lot of new media, but there's only 2 episodes out for it, and I watched the first 2, and it was pretty awesome. I was into it.
I've got Max. I'll have to check it out. So
yeah, I'll probably play the trailer in a minute so everyone can see it. It's
my girlfriend and I just finished watching a show on Netflix called The 3 Body Problem, which was actually, if you like sci-fi, it was a pretty smart sci-fi. Yeah,
I definitely do. And the new King of the Hill's coming out sometime this year too. Did you know about that?
I didn't know about that, but hopefully I hope they don't recast Luann. That like they just leave.
I don't know if Luann's in it. I know it's real time has passed, so Bobby's an adult.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yep.
That boy is a man now.
For Bernie Sanders. One of the things that I noticed was that The Atlantic and the New York Times said
it's going to be on Hulu, by the way.
All the Democrats show why they lost. The party seemed to be at pains to demonstrate that it learned nothing from its defeat and that we have no coherent message. Democrats struggle to oppose Trump. And this comes as you have the highest number of voters with an unfavorable view of the Democrats at 57%. You were trying to change that. It came up a little bit short. What did you want them to do?
Well, I'm a pro-labor, pro-union guy, Dana, and that's what makes me a Democrat. I'm bothered by massive wealth and income inequality in society, and it does frustrate me when I see a lot of my friends.
Yet you're on Fox News.
On the left and Democratic Party focusing on identity politics divisions. You need solidarity of a working class if you're going to take on massive wealth and power. You can't be saying, hey, I'm Latino and I get a seat on this committee, or trans person over here, black person over there. You got to have solidarity of everybody in order to get universal health care, raise the minimum wage to a living.
Oh, we're so far away from that, and they don't want it. Like, the people who can give that to us don't want us to have it. So we're not getting it.
No, the people that could give us that have decided that that's nothing that's ever going to happen.
Well, they already have public health care that's taxpayer funded. Why do they need everyone else to have it?
Right, exactly.
Seriously.
Those are the things that drive me.
Faz,
and
could
right
I
now
jump in real quick and play? I just want to play this one soundbite for you to react to. This is Jamie Harrison, the outgoing DNC chair, and what he said.
Our rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. At this point are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must add 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
It feels like a complicated.
So they are playing something that does kind of sound ridiculous at face value. I don't know if I'm getting the full context. I do think, we shouldn't necessarily have quotas, but we should be fair about how we hire people. There was a time where, like, even if you were qualified, if you were like a minority, they wouldn't hire you. So I just want it to be a level playing field.
Yeah,
that seems fair.
I don't know. Like, this is above my pay grade to comment on. So
yeah, I mean, diversity shouldn't be forced, but it should be achievable. There was a time when it wasn't, So
sure, that's an agreeable statement.
Yeah.
Algebra problem. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I was calling for breaking up some of these councils and caucuses that too often say, pat you on the head and go sit in a corner over there because you're different than everybody else. I'm like, what are we doing here? It also dissipates the mission. The purpose is a working class party. Let's focus on grassroots fundraising. Let's focus on candidate recruitment. Get everybody in the room and get together on ideas that solve for that, including young white males. I mean, too often you feel like you're excluding certain people out of a way in which you build solidarity for a working class.
And so the guy who won, Ken Martin, comes from Minnesota. Do you expect to see any changes?
Donald Trump is a DEI hire. He's our first orange president. He's our second president that's a person of color.
He's a nepo baby too. Let's not forget that.
I remember Obama made a joke. There was this Speaker of the House back when Obama was president. His name was John Boehner, and he was known for having like a really bad like spray tan. And Obama was like, he was talking about him. He's like, oh yeah, and we're both people of color. And I thought that was so funny. He made fun of his shitty tan.
When he comes on board?
I'm going to try to help him as best as I can. I think that the Democratic National Committee needs a major makeover, an overhaul of some spine right now. I think when, you got an assault on government, from my perspective, Dana, going on, and the Democratic Party has looked to and said, hey, you guys, for your long history and tradition, have fought for working people and believe in government. Step up and fight. There should be, when you get this kind of assault based off of unelected billionaires, I would hope the Democratic Party shows up and says, hey, we're the party of a working class right now.
It was interesting to watch that decline over time, right?
This guy's getting his name out there by being like, I'm a Democrat, but all this woke stuff bothers me. That's
Right,
yeah.
I'm a Democrat, but I'm going to go on Fox News.
Yeah, and I mean, they do, like CNN has Republicans on there that argue the other side, and that's cool, but he's not really doing that. He's saying my party's fucked up and this is why we lost because of this woke shit, You
should Republicans. That's why we lost.
Yeah.
We need a Donald Trump for our side.
And as we go through this political realignment, and for me, like when I first started in politics, college-educated voters always voted.
She's like 60.
Is she really?
Yeah, she was George. She was George Bush's press secretary.
The first George Bush?
I think the second one. Dana Perino, how old is she? Oh, you know what? I was wrong. She's 52. I was wrong. She's 50.
I'm gonna say, damn, she looks. I mean, but Demi Moore is like what, 61?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For Republicans. That's not the case anymore. But there's another issue, and I was really glad to see this in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. Michael Bloomberg, former mayor of New York, also a billionaire, but really interested in education. And he said that Democratic politicians are in denial on the...
Wow, Megyn Kelly is older than Dana Perino. That's crazy. The Fox Blondes.
Education.
I think Megyn Kelly is attractive until she opens her mouth. And then it's like, it's funny how, she was part of the whole, like, I was sexually harassed when I worked at Fox, so I'm leaving. And then she went to, and she called out Trump when she was a debate moderator, and she called out Trump during one of the debates, and Trump got pissed off at her. She's riding the Trump train once again. And the reason why is because when she left Fox News, she tried to get into like mainstream news, and she started working for NBC, and they made her like an anchor for the Today Show and shit. But then she made a politically incorrect comment about how like she didn't see what was wrong with blackface.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were talking about Halloween costumes.
Blackface is always wrong unless you're Robert Downey Jr.
Well, he was playing a white guy.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm playing the dude dressed as another dude.
There's that clip of Megyn Kelly from back in the day on Fox News where she's like, "Kids, Santa Claus is white. He just is. I'm sorry."
Jesus, she probably thinks that Jesus is white too.
A lot of them do, yeah. I mean, that's because our like Western imagery of Jesus was all crafted by European artists and everything. And that's why idiots that don't know how to do research and don't know what Middle Eastern people look like for some reason. I love the neo-Nazis that claim to be all Christian, and then you're like, well, you worship a Jew, you know that, right? And they're like in denial about Jesus being a Jew. It's like, well, where do you think he came from? Like,
he was a Christian. That's why his name's Christ.
Oh, okay. Sure. He was like literally Jewish. He followed Judaism.
crisis, and that voters see them tolerating failure, capitulating to the teachers' unions, and blocking charter schools. And it seems to me that that could be one of the issues where if you really do want to go back to the roots of the party, that one might be it. But yet, it does seem like you get these failing report cards from the nation's students, and the Democrats don't say much about it.
But I'm coming at this from a different perspective. I see a billion.
Yes. If you look at like a Catholic crucifix, someone just made a great point in the chat. If you look at a Catholic crucifix, by the way, the Messiah was supposed to be the person delivering the Jews from bondage. So if you believe he's the Messiah, he has to be a Jew. And also, if you look at a Catholic crucifix and, you know, they have that gruesome image of like the corpse of Jesus on the cross, above his head, there's a sign and it says INRI. And that's Latin. They didn't have the letter J in Latin. So the I stands for the letter J. So it's I, Jesus, and then the N is of Nazareth. And then the R is Rex, which means king in Latin. And then the I is J for Jew. Of the Jews. Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, is what it says.
My grandmother was a really strong, avowed Seventh-day Adventist, and she used to later in life like draw a lot of pictures and paintings and stuff, and she would always paint white Jesus, right? Like had a bunch of paintings of white Jesus all over the place. And in my youth, I thought I was like really snarky and really clever, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm going to ask Grandma why all of these paintings of Jesus are white." And she was like, "Please don't do that. Oh my God, please don't." You know, and so I was like, "No, I'm going to do it." And so I asked her, and my grandmother was like, "Well, in all actuality, he probably wasn't, but that's just how, you know, I choose to have him represented in my heart."
You know, like when I was a kid, I had a black friend, and I went to his house, and his dad was like a minister and shit, and they had a version of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper where everyone in it was black. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah. Like, I don't care. I mean, I don't even believe most of those people even really existed. So, but yeah, I mean, do whatever. I mean, do it the way you want to do it. I really don't care. Seventh-day Adventist is a unique religion. It's not quite exactly Christianity. Kind of like Mormonism.
Well, it's almost like Christianity mixed with Judaism because they have the same sound.
Yeah, and also there's actually Seventh-day Adventist colonies in Israel. There's a bunch of them that live in Israel.
Who says they want to give?
It's crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem.
You know, people an opportunity to pull their kids from public schools and go to private schools and get a tax benefit for it. From my perspective, you see small communities and rural communities losing tax base, losing the ability to build up their public schools. What's the major problem? We need to give teachers more pay, recruit young males actually to be teachers. Why don't they do it?
There's a Seventh-day Adventist church in Jerusalem. So let that sink in.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because the pay of a public school teacher isn't sufficient to the quality and the value of what they're providing to society.
Oh my God, the street that it's on, I'm looking at it right now on Google Maps. The street that it's on, they must have named this street. It's Abraham Lincoln Street in Jerusalem. There's a fucking street named after Abraham Lincoln in Jerusalem.
That's pretty good.
That is insane.
Did you know that there's a church in Jerusalem where there's a ladder like sticking out the window, and like there's a treaty that says that you're not allowed to move the ladder? It's like made out of wood from like the 1st century.
Interesting.
To my mind, you want to invest in public schools, invest in post offices, invest in the VA. I don't like this undermining of public goods for the common good.
But if the public goods aren't providing for the people who are paying for it, should there be a change for them?
Yeah, our job is to hold that accountable. If you believe in government, I agree with you that there is failings in the public school system, but the best way to deal with it is not to say, hey, go off and run to a private school and get a tax benefit for it. It's to say we got to raise the teacher pay in this school to say.
Okay, yeah, I'm done listening to this guy. One more weird fact about Seventh-day Adventists in Israel. There's 15 Seventh-day Adventist churches in Israel, 15 of them, and there's close to 1,000 members of the religion that live in Israel.
I have an interesting question about religion in Israel. Are there any LDS churches in Jerusalem?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know they're banned from a lot of countries, but they'll go to any country they allow them to go to.
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure Google would tell you that. Like, if there is one, it's public knowledge, and you can look up the address for it and everything. I'm going to play this trailer really quick, just so people can see it, because I'm all in on this show because it really sucked me in. Well, here it is.
This might look like individual fungi, but what you're seeing is a single intelligence.
The blue angel mushroom.
The blue angel mushroom
Could have effects 100 times anything we've ever seen.
Like, there's a part in the first episode where he shows this woman how it works, and he grabs this pigeon and breaks its neck, and then like forces a mushroom into its mouth, and then it just like comes back to life and flies away. To like demonstrate like how powerful the mushrooms are.
They want it nipped in the bud.
I'll call the DEA right now, whatever it takes.
And he's running from the DEA, and the pharmaceutical industry is trying to like kill him and destroy all the mushrooms.
To cheat life, play God. If this comes through, it could change the pharmaceutical game as we know it.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
It's very graphic, like with the violence. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, so that's the trailer for it.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, so...
Super Luigi mushrooms.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Boop, boop, boop.
I tried to grow some blue mushrooms one time, and they got contaminated and didn't work. Like it. What?
Cyanescence or?
They were Jack Frost.
Oh,
they're like blue and white.
I gotcha. I used to grow really good apes. People were very, very happy with the albino penis envies that I would grow.
Yeah, the only one I've only tried twice. The first time was like beginner's luck, and I grew penis envies, and I had this massive crop of them. And then I tried to grow the Jack Frost, and something got contaminated, and if just a little bit of contamination will spread like wildfire.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
no, absolutely. I would say, because like I had like a whole operation going, and I would say that like on any regular basis, I would probably lose like 30 to 50% due to contamination. That's just kind of like the way that the game went. But like the stuff to make it was so cheap that it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
But I had a cousin who he went like just balls deep in learning everything that you could about mushrooms and the best way to grow them and the way to make them the most potent and everything. And I basically just like copied off of his notes. I was like, okay, yeah, let me pay attention. Okay, let me write this down. Okay. And like I followed his, recipe, so to speak, and it worked out really well. This was years ago though.
Yeah. So I am affiliated now with Schedule 35, and they make like mushroom products, and it's pretty cool. I ate some of they sent me a bunch of tea, like mushroom tea and mushroom capsules, and also these chocolate bars. And last night I ate a little bit of the chocolate bars. I think it's like 10 grams for a whole chocolate bar. So I ate like 3 little pieces of it, and I was like in another dimension last night. It was crazy.
And the last time I did mushrooms, I had gone snowboarding with a bunch of people, including my son, which wasn't a great. It was like none of what I was doing was a great combination. But like one point, like I just got hungry and I kept eating the mushrooms that were in my pocket. But like we're sitting in the car. Yeah, we're sitting in the car to warm up, and like I'm looking at the windows, and I know that like because the car's running and like ice is melting down, but I'm like, why is the water like running back up the window? That's so weird. Like I'm just sitting
That's
there.
crazy.
Everybody's like everybody's gearing back up and ready to go, and I'm just like staring at the windows, can't figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I can't do stuff like that. Like, if I'm going to do shrooms, I'm just going to, like, chill at home and do whatever I want at home. I can't go do, like, activities. I can barely even stream on the mushrooms. Like, there's been a few times where I took mushrooms, and for some reason, even though I've been doing this for over a decade, I couldn't handle with the fact that, like, people were watching me.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there's someone there and they know what I'm doing. I will say that, like, for me, for a while, because I was growing them and I was doing more than micro dosing. I was like mini dosing, I guess maybe you want to call it. And so I thought that I was really good at it. I'm like, no, I've got this under control, and like I never take too much, and I can drive, and I can do this, and I can do that. But man, that snowboarding trip put me in my place, man. It was like, no, there's a fucking line to these things. There is a point where you do too much and you're fucked. Like, you can't do anything. So.
Yeah, I can't. I cannot handle it. I'd rather just like lay down and cover up with a blanket and just like do nothing, you know? That's my ideal setup. I'll show you really quick here though. This was from my one successful crop from my first attempt. See how they're growing there?
Mm.
Yeah, here's like a few of them. Yeah, they were potent too, and it wasn't because I knew what I was doing. It was all beginner's luck.
Yeah. And I think that there is definitely a certain degree of that, because like I remember the first tub that I grew was really good, and like it was really, and I'm like, wow, this is easy. Like, how can I not, not just grow pounds of this and make money hand over fist? But then like you start getting some contamination in there, and you're like, oh fuck, like all of this shit is ruined. I remember like I had like a compost pile that was behind the house that was just fucking huge of all of the stuff that I had thrown out because of contamination.
Yeah. I had never had like a fresh psilocybin mushroom before. Like, and I was like, because you know the ones that like they don't grow that big, but they're like little ones. Like you get like the pins that don't fully bloom. I ate a few of those, and they worked and everything, but I'd never had a fresh psilocybin mushroom before, and they were good. They actually were tasty to me. So
yeah, I mean, like if you're into that, I've never been like a huge fan of the way that mushrooms taste personally.
Yeah.
But if you like it, like they're definitely, when they're like before you dry them out, they taste completely fine, and they're kind of better to eat, I would say.
Oh yeah, they're way better for like eating as a food, for sure. All right, so let's do something else here. Let's move away from the news for a little while. Maybe we'll get back to it later, but let's check out what's going on in the life of the manatee. Here we go.
Individual situation. Check out the beautiful asshole.
The individual Brett Keane segment situation.
All right, here's this is a video from Brett, and the title of it is "Jerking Off at the Bus Stop." So I guess we'll see what this is all about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane, and you are watching and listening.
You're watching and listening
To the Brett Keane Show. Imagine that you're taking your children to school, or you're just trying to go to the local donut shop where all the cops hang out.
Okay.
And you just managed to get through the gay parades and the trans parades where they're mimicking and posing.
Where's that happening?
Jesus characters up doing crucifixions while having.
I mean, that only happens 1 month a year. And if you want to avoid it, you can easily drive around it. So Brett is acting like he's had this problem before, and he has not. He has never had trouble driving through town, but a gay parade got in the way.
Maybe because it's February, they were doing like a Black Lives or not like a Black History Month parade or something like that, and just automatically assumed that it was Gay Pride, and
I think if Brett says it to me, it's a lie, and he's all about this identity politics shit because that's what the right is into. So he's just regurgitating talking points. Brett doesn't leave his house. He lays in bed all day. Did we get a dono?
We did 350 from young RJ. It looked
Oh, thank you, young RJ. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Gay men sitting there pretending to simulate.
How do we know this? Okay, so he's showing a video. It's like a really short video from Twitter. It's from all the way back in 2023. And he's showing this picture. We don't know anything about who this guy is. How do we know he's gay? Like, we don't know anything about him. I don't even know what he looks like, except for, like, what clothes he wears.
Making a lot of assumptions there, Manatee.
Yeah.
Right in front of your kids. And then when you go around the corner in the Democratic...
I mean, it kind of looks like he's jerking it, but how do we even know that's what he's doing?
He could be trying to adjust his belt for all we know.
Someone said he could be pissing.
Yeah, did anybody actually see his hand on his dick, like
jerking it?
Yeah, like...
You're going to find migrants actually standing over.
Migrants now. See, he's hitting all the boxes. He said gays, he said trans, and now he's on to migrants. See, he has bullet points he's trying to hit.
Got to hit that Truth Social algorithm.
No.
Over by walls jerking off right out in fucking public. They have so little control.
On Amazon Music. Who the fuck would ever download his shit off Amazon Music?
That's what he does. Because this is actually a little older. This is from before he nuked his YouTube channel. And now he's exclusively on like Spotify and like he's only like audio only RSS feed now. So
I would wager a guess that the only people that are listening to him are the people that are making fun of him.
Oh, that's how it was on YouTube also. Brett, like in 2007, was actually a fairly popular person on YouTube and was actually respected. And then people started learning like what a fraud he was, and then like all of his views are just like hate views after that. And then he became like the official Drunken Peasants lol cow in the early days of DP, and he's never been able to shake that. So
your mom, who isn't doing it right now? Come on.
Control over themselves that they just think, you know what, America, land of the free, so I'm going to just whip my dick out right here and just start fucking blowing loads onto the wall. That's what this guy's doing. Right out in fucking public, he yanked out his fucking noodle and just started yanking that son of a bitch right out in front of everybody. This is that culture enrichment that they were talking about. This is that diversity that Democrats wanted.
What?
So,
that is a huge leap to make out of literally nowhere.
Yeah.
We got the gays. We've got women dressing in pussy hats and nipple fucking earrings.
The pussy hat shit is old. Yeah, Brett is very much stuck in the past.
That shit hasn't happened in so long.
Right. I think that was like a 2016 thing, if I remember right.
I feel like it happened a little bit towards the beginning of Trump. Maybe I don't know, man. I don't remember.
Else. And then now we've got this shit where men are just pulling it out and jerking off. Just recently, some women went out on a beach and decided to just fucking masturbate in front of families. And
okay, there was a woman. I've seen the body cam video. There was a woman who thought no one could see her, and she was like, she got herself off on the beach. She had a vibrator, and she got off, and then someone did report her to the cops, and she got arrested, and then the body cam video came out, and she was so humiliated that she killed herself. That did actually happen.
That's terrible.
Yep. Yeah.
Kids.
Yep.
And people just fucking kind of stood there in awe and shock at what they were seeing. This is the world that we live in nowadays, folks. This is what we're dealing with. Is this really what we wanted? I mean, my goodness. Have you noticed that the more atheism rises in America, the more...
Oh, yeah. This is always Brett's point. The world is bad because atheists. There's only two types of people, gourd believers and atheists. And the atheists are ruining everything.
our country becomes godless and Christians basically run away from their duties and responsibilities. What we're running into here, it's getting worse. You know, I remember when I was reading the Bible and it said that the world got so bad God had to flood it. And then also Sodom and Gomorrah became so fucking depraved that God dropped fucking bombs from the sky on the place. My goodness, I remember trying to visualize how can the world get so bad that God wants to do a full reset. Well, I think that...
Why would God need to do a reset? Isn't God perfect? Shouldn't everything God makes be perfect and flawless? I mean, if it's not, it's because he chose it to be that way, right?
Stop pointing out logic to fucking Christians, man. They're just going to shut you down.
This is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen. What's your thoughts? God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
All right. What is this? What is this? Oh, God. Wild Bill.
Democrat Congressman Jared Huffman is angry that the National Prayer Breakfast at the Capitol building actually included prayer. He says Christian prayer should never be allowed in the Capitol building because it violates the separation of church and state. That is one of the most evil lies ever told in America. The First Amendment says this: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. And the second part says this: or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. First, there will never be a National Church of America, and the government is prohibited from persecuting the Christian church. There is nothing unclear about that. Freedom of religion was the #1 priority of the Founding Fathers.
Nomad, he's going to rob a sperm bank.
I don't believe freedom of religion was the #1 priority of the Founding Fathers. I think it was freedom from tyranny, you know, that sort of thing. I don't think, I mean, like, everyone was practicing their religion already. So I don't agree with Wild Bill.
I don't agree with Wild Bill on principle, but
They put it in the very first sentence in the very first constitutional amendment. It was written by the Founding Fathers specifically to protect the United States from the evil politics of men like Jared Huffman.
No, I think because, you know, the church, like, especially like in England, the church was one with the monarchy. Like the King of England was also the head of the church,
right,
at the time because of what was it, Henry VIII. So they wanted the churches to be separate from the government.
Over 20,000 letters written by the Founding Fathers prove beyond any doubt that the United States was founded as a Christian nation. In God we trust is our national motto. It's written on our money and engraved on our national buildings. The only constitutional restriction is that the government may not interfere in the free exercise of the Christian faith in any way. There's a reason for that. The American way of life is built on Christian morality. Today we have children committing suicide in record numbers. We have school shootings and sexual perverts marching in the streets. We have rampant
So he's comparing like a pride march to a school shooting. He put those like in the same sentence.
Wow.
Yeah.
At every level of society. And one of the biggest reasons is because men like Jared Huffman tore the USA away from her Christian foundations and forced schools to stop training up students to have Christian moral standards. Do not kill. Do not steal. Love your neighbor as yourself. Honor your father and your mother. Why are we not teaching these things to our children? Because men like Jared Huffman hate biblical morality. He represents California, which is...
All right, so I am looking at the data, and the suicide rate among people aged 10 to 24 is higher than it has been like this century. And
population there too, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is kind of great. Like, I'll show you the chart here. So, give me 1 second here.
So homicide rate goes down, suicide rate goes up. I don't know, man. Seems rather strange. So, John Adams devoted to the right and counsel presumption of innocence.
I had someone squeaking at me through the door here. You little shit.
That's how I knew that Penny wanted to be fed, was because she was coming in here and like she kept coming in and rubbing up. I was like, oh yeah, it's 7 o'clock and they left at 5, so you probably want to be fed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put her on the couch really quick here. There you go, boo. All right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, since 2000, it has climbed, and I get like, it was higher than the homicide rate from like 2009, and then it shot up. I mean, it is high, but I don't think like atheism or like.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with God or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the Sodom and Gomorrah of America. I joined the Mordecai Mission because they exist to expose and defend against the persecution of Christians in the USA. And today, I am challenging the people of the USA to raise their standards and stop voting for men like Huffman, who are dragging
I'm not sure
this
who
nation
Huffman is.
into the sewers of moral depravity and corruption. Now, more than ever, this nation needs men and women of faith to pray openly and publicly for the restoration of this nation as a nation under God. Children desperately need the hope and encouragement that comes from knowing that their future is safe and secure with Jesus Christ as their Savior. If you agree with this message, then please go to MordecaiMission.net and join the team. And together, we will make a difference.
He's always got that little smirk at the end of the video. America bless God again.
Is he bald underneath that cowboy hat?
I don't think so. No, I think he has a good amount of hair for an old guy. Pretty sure he does. He's pretty old too. I'm guessing 70s. He's been doing this shit for a very long time. His channel's been around a very long time. So, yeah, he's a weird guy. Oh my God. I think this might be Anthony Cumia. You know who he is?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head.
You ever heard of the show Opie and Anthony? It was a very popular radio show. Well, he was Anthony from Opie and Anthony, like second only to Howard Stern as far as like popularity. Yeah. And they were a lot like Howard Stern. It was similar, like very edgy. And he got fired. They got kicked off the radio because of their edginess, and then they went to XM, Sirius XM, and then he did some racist shit on social media and got fired. And ever since then, he's gone like all in with the racist shit, like hanging out with Nick Fuentes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
So-
one of the Elon kids had been retweeting Nick Fuentes or something, I heard.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, Opie and Anthony launched the careers for a lot of comedians back in the day too. Like Bill Burr was one of them. Like a lot of like people who are really famous stand-up comedians now got their start on Opie and Anthony. So, but now Opie and Anthony are not buddies at all anymore. They're not cool at all. So, anyway, here's a clip.
I
Here he
remember
is.
being
That's Anthony on the right.
like 6 years old, and my brother was about 7, and we set a hill in our development on fire where there was a horse stable and stuff. And we set it on fire, and the fire department showed up. And we're standing there, and a fireman was picking me up because I was 6. And he goes, did you see who did this? 6 years old. I said, yeah, it was Negroes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've seen him go hard, super hard.
Negroes did it. So
he started a fire and blamed it on black people when the fire department came.
This other piece of shit next to him is just fucking laughing about it. Like, that's the funniest thing he's ever heard.
I'm not sure who he is, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Dude, genetics, DNA, how at 6 would I automatically know, blame it on black people back in the 60s?
And you've been doing it for the next 50 years.
And I made a career out of it. I've ruined a career over it.
Yep.
Black people did it.
Yeah, it just was, black people did it at 6 years old. So I don't know. Maybe my dad was just going around the house since I was born, just saying, oh, these black people. Not
Did
using
they
that.
laugh when they found out what you said? Did your brother and your dad laugh when you told them, or were they there?
No, they weren't. My brother was there, and I don't even know if he backed up my story. At 7, he's looking at me going, geez, what a piece of shit my younger brother is.
And this is what they're trying to help black people, right? The 60s and 70s.
Oh, it was big. Yeah. But who knows, in that neighborhood, I might have been responsible for the death of a black person. I'm sure, Elwood.
Hilarious.
In Northport, Long Island, probably found a black guy and took care of business.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And he's so happy about it.
They bring you into the.
And it's funny because, I remember there was a video of him whining about how Bill Burr doesn't like him anymore. Bill Burr's wife is black. So Bill Burr hates Anthony now and doesn't want to be around him or anything. And Anthony's like, what? What's wrong? Yeah, he's a piece of shit and a half.
The PlayStation, there's 5 black guys up on the thing.
Yeah, that's him.
It's number 2. And they didn't have the DNA and all that stuff. So they didn't need a great case against a black guy back then. Just young kid going, that's him. That's the Negro that did it.
Yeah, and that's I hear these stories.
These pieces of shit are sitting here laughing about the fact that racial injustice is taking place and how easily it took place back then.
The good old days.
Yeah, when you could just blame a black person and they would get lynched for it. What the fuck are you actually saying?
Yep.
About the 1800s and shit. You're like, oh, yeah, people were lynched and put in jail and illegally executed. And it's well, they had a witness. It's oh, what if it was just, a black person did it? I'm sure it had to have happened.
Yeah. That's some crazy shit.
Disgusting. And man, the sad thing is that ever since the election took place, not even Trump took office, but since the election took place and Trump won, people have felt emboldened to be as racist as they possibly want to be. Hey, look at that. We got a $2 donation.
And I want to clarify this. If we're condemning the behavior, we're fine. If we're we agree with that, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if we're no, this guy's a piece of shit and he's racist, then we're not going to get in trouble for that because the context is there.
No, yeah, absolutely. Complete racist pieces of shit who are joking about the fact that this stuff took place and they think that it's funny. It's gross, man.
It is. Well, one thing we definitely wouldn't want to do is give anyone any ideas.
No. No. I just maybe.
No, I'm not talking to you.
I was saying, because your mom said, have they, or are you just noticing it more? Maybe I am noticing it more, but it seems like a lot more people are emboldened to be a lot more outright with it. And I think it's funny that I heard of two different people, like a female state congresswoman or senator from like Mississippi or Missouri or something, did the Elon salute,
Yes.
the, like, my heart goes out to you salute. And then so did like some British priest who was here in the United States. Both of them got fired. The establishments that they worked for were like, no, this is not okay. What they did is what they did, and we're not. And yet, when Elon does it, people come to that guy's defense, and they're like, no, racism. It wasn't racism. It was just it was tism.
Racism.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to do a bathroom run really quick. I'm going to put you full screen. I'll be right back.
So delete comment. Oh, I didn't see what the comment said. So hey, look, full screen, and the camera's not great. I don't know what's going on here, if it's internet quality or Ben's quality or my quality or what's going on, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Anyway, yeah, I'm not down with what Elon did. I'm not down with the emboldened racism. I got the shitty Shab cam. I have the Shabisky cam. Tell Jeff he needs to come on more. I will absolutely tell Jeff that. He and his wife are at like a big gala event. He got all dressed up tonight in a nice suit and everything, so Shabisky mode. I'm using his stuff. That's what it is. You guys thought that I was in Jeff Holliday's studio, but I'm really in Shabisky's studio. Travel all over the place, so. But yeah, so if anybody ever sees Bill Gates, I guess he's not really a CEO anymore. I was gonna say, because Ben said something about how Bill Gates is often in line for burgers in Seattle, and I was like, maybe if he was a CEO, but he is rich, and there is that whole eat the rich movement. So if you see Bill Gates in line for a burger, maybe you should put him on a burger. Just a suggestion. I don't know. Anyway, man, it's Friday night. What's everybody doing? Anybody going out anywhere? Getting dressed up? I put on my Tim Pool beanie. Like, I'm going to be Matt Poole tonight. He's one of the good ones. Okay, I don't know. They're like, who is the single biggest owner of farmland in the United States? He's not one of the good ones. Like, it's them versus us, and like, just because he's one of the good ones, I don't know, man. I don't know. Drinking and smoking, nice. No, we need them. The rich or the poor? No, anybody with that much money is not one of the good ones. Thank you, Hank. Hank Chill gets it. So, working Killer Beehive. I'm sorry, man. Like, I feel it. I need to be working, but I can't be because I'm moving. I have to move everything that I own from my house and somebody else's house into one house, and it's a process. Jeff and I went to move my my 4-wheeler today. And he was like, there's no way we're going to be able to push that thing into the back of my truck. You're going to have to start it. And we go out to my storage unit where it's been stored for like 2 months. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to start. I didn't even bring the key to begin with because I had no intention of trying to start it. But we get out there. I make a special trip all the way to my house to get the key for it. We come back and I put it in and it's dead. Like, the battery was dead. It was, and so we ended up pushing it into the back of the truck and it was fine. And then we put a motorcycle next to it too. So that was kind of ridiculous.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I'm just checking something really quick here. Why is it like that? All right. That's weird. Okay. I am going to...
Your mom, they're talking about rich people. Bill Gates.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Let's do something else here. Yeah, I kind of wish. Let me see if Cobra's has posted anything new since the show started. I just want to see.
Always check his Facebook too. He might post there. I don't know.
Yeah, because his last video, and he said he went on like a bender. He said even for him, it was like an epic bender.
Dude,
So,
Angie sings now, so.
Oh my god.
I thought some talking about how somebody had the hots for Angie or something. I don't know. I don't remember. It was Cobra lore for a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm like multitasking right now. Highest. Unbuffer. Okay. Highest. Okay.
Oh, sounds like.
Sorry, I was just something was weird and I was trying to figure it out. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's all weird. All right. I'll fix it later. Fuck it. All right. Let's do.
Who needs Ellen when you have Angie? That's right. Cobes can make his own Ellen or whatever.
How's that happening? Please explain.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's yeah.
Did we lose video on my end?
No. Sorry. I'm having like you know what? I'm fucking with shit I shouldn't even fuck with while we're streaming. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I'll fuck with it later. You know, I had a computer issue a few weeks ago and I had to set everything up again and there's still some things I haven't quite worked out. So it's being weird. Let's do. Oh God, I have the Ultimate Chris Chan Rage compilation.
Okay, let's do it.
Enough in English class. You have.
This is the oldest known video of Chris Chan where he's like 14 or something in it.
Yeah.
Gotta be kidding me. I mean an F. I do not even know when was the last time I got an F. I mean, who knows? It could have been back in old Greene County. That stupid place. Yeesh. That Greene County primary. Actually, it was a nice school, but then it came the thing of Green Elementary. That's why I got the F. Anyway, then many years rolled by. Then you came along and gave me an F. I mean, I started off with an A, and you just lowered it. I'm getting sick and tired of this lower thing. What do you have against the handicapped children anyway? I mean, I know my handicap is autism, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And you, Mrs. Bird, I think that F is very disrespectful. I mean, I am very...
He's mad because he got an F.
Yeah.
Emotional about it.
Whoa.
Rudell, and Surya Butchwald. They should have been disqualified because they had music and more than one person in their Freakazoid videos. You're the shitheads. I'm straight.
Which is like, that totally changed.
You're the homos. Every last one of you. I love dykes.
Oh. Okay.
Dykes. China!
Great.
I am not a pedo fork, you dorks! Listen to me, you jerk. Re-upload it, or we're gonna rain heckle on you, because I'm not afraid to show my fangs. You can kiss my foot. And you know what else? I swear to God that I will go to the police with every handwritten document that was sent to my family. Back the fuck off! You do not want to get on my bad side again! Or even worse! Screw all that Clyde cash! I will put his lights out! Leave me and my friends alone! This is Clyde.
Poop there.
Yeah, this is like
You want me to calm down? You want me to calm down? That's Clyde.
Not really. Bluetooth headset there?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is probably 2002, maybe here, or well, maybe like 2005, 6, something like that.
So back when those headsets were like $100 each.
Yeah. He's hulking up.
Oh, did you hear me? You are dead. You are dead. You are dead. And so is that page.
Arr.
You are so despicable, Clyde. I am going to beat your lights out. I am going to drag you right in front of everyone if we ever meet in public. I am going
Clyde Cash was one of his trolls.
to shove your ass down your throat and make you eat your underwear.
Oh no!
Oh, and how about this? I get angry.
We'll see, like, because this is from the beginning all the way until 2021, okay? So we're going to...
crazy is, like, his hair here is already starting to thin. Like, you can see some male pattern baldness already starting to come.
Yeah. Yeah, and then eventually, Chris Chan's father passes away, because Chris Chan's father was, like, pretty old to be having a kid this age. And then you start to see the real change happen.
I will call you out, Mr. Test. I will call you out. Chris Chandler. My name is not Ian Brandon something. I am Christian Weston Chandler. So get it through your damn fucking skull.
Yeah, they were, he was being trolled by someone who was like, I'm the real Christian Chandler.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And call me the real name that God has been given to me and the bear at Regency Square Shopping Center during 1989. You damn mocking bastard! Get it right! I'm Christian Weston Chandler. You are only Chris Chandler. Your medal is made out of paper. The whole length of time, the real medal has been made out of Crayola fucking model magic and a wanted paper, I would go to Walmart and pay $5 for 500 sheets. You kicked me in the balls again.
You kicked me in the balls again.
Stop that imposter bastard.
I like the little goatee.
Has been posing with my name, my address, my phone number, everything. Stop him. He deserves nothing. Die, you.
You know, it's funny because Chris Chan could have defeated all the trolls. He did actually do something that shocked everybody. What he did was he made a video where he was acting normal and he was dressed normal. And he's like, hi, yeah, I'm actually Chris Chan and I've been trolling all of you this whole time. And you've thought I was autistic and lived with my mom and dad, but I actually live on my own and have a job. And he's all like walking around like normal. And everyone was like, what the fuck? He's like, yes, I've been trolling you the whole time. And if he had just like vanished after that, it would have been fine.
The trolls would have left him alone forever.
Yeah.
Curse ye, ha! My mother and my father are angry at me and blaming at me. It's my fault. I admit it's my fault. I want everything about my house off the internet. I'll send in detectives. I'll send in police. I'll send in everything in my power. So yeah, please get everything off of the internet.
Oh, they cut out the part with his dad coming in. Let me tell you something.
Now. Apparently, my heat of warning towards Vivian has gone unheard.
By the way, we're so close to get to 50%. If you guys would be so kind as to help out, throw us a couple bucks. Help us get to 50%. We're so close. And we got about an hour and 10 minutes of the show left.
Otherwise, she did not realize the fury of my wrath. Stop me if you have not seen this before.
There's one, and it might be in this because I haven't watched this whole thing yet. There's one where someone tricked him into thinking he had to destroy his PlayStation, and he's like trying to hit it with a rock, and he can't break it because he's so weak. He couldn't like bust it with a rock. Thank you, Leah Ashes. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's all it takes. A bunch of people throw in $2. But then, like, he tries so hard to break this, and then in the end, he has to run it over with his car.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I a little bit worried that they give someone like that a driver's license.
Yeah, he was tricked by a troll. He lives in Virginia, in West Virginia. Or no, not West Virginia, Virginia, actual Virginia, like coastal Virginia. And he got tricked into thinking that his internet girlfriend, who was not a real person, was being held hostage in Cleveland, Ohio. So he drove 7 hours from Virginia to Cleveland, got there, realized it was fake, and then had to drive all the way back by himself. He didn't even tell his parents he was doing it.
That's insane.
Yes. Yes. The craziest one was he was getting catfished into thinking he had this online girlfriend, and they were doing like naughty stuff, you know, like on the phone and like on cam and stuff. And then all of a sudden, randomly, the person he was talking to was like, by the way, I'm not a girl. I'm a 12-year-old boy. And this means you're a PDF file now.
Yeah.
It was the sick, and it really was like a, maybe not 12, maybe like 14. It was like a middle school aged kid that catfished him and tricked him, and then was like, now you're a PDF file, and like trolled him. Yeah. Yeah. It was one of the most evil trolls ever. And it was an actual kid that did it to him.
This is my client chat.
And that's just super unnecessary.
It's crazy. Yeah, like that one's evil. The one at the mall is really funny because this an actual girl met him that was a troll, but like met him at the mall, and his dad came with him because his dad didn't trust anything anymore because of all the times he had been tricked. And it was well known that Chris hated pickles with a passion. He just hated fucking pickles. So he's walking around the mall with this girl who was like kind of attractive that he thought he was on a date with, and all of a sudden out of nowhere this dude in a pickle suit comes and starts talking to them and just like steals her away, and she like leaves with the pickle suit guy.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's well thought out.
And it's all filmed too, because there was like a third person there recording it while it was happening.
That was the height of the lolcow stuff, man. Like there's nothing that's that good anymore when it comes to lolcows. Like I feel like the height is past, you know.
What did he say when that happened? Oh, you know what he said. It's probably part of this compilation. We probably haven't gotten to it yet. He calls him a pickle-suited something, or he uses a colorful word.
That's to every last one of his family members, including his guardian.
Back in the day, they called this autistic screeching. That was like a big internet term like 10 years ago.
I am strong, man.
Are
You
you?
do not want to mess with me. Ah! You want to face me? Come on! Face me, man! You face me! You face me right now, you son of a bitch! You face me!
This is how he throws a punch.
Come on, you son of a bitch! I'm challenging you! You come face me right now! You come face me, you damn son of a bitch!
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Julie! It's funny because he thinks this is like intimidating while he's doing it.
It reminds me of the kid who like gets his account for something deleted, and his brother sets up a video camera, and he comes in his bedroom and starts freaking out and like puts the remote in his butt, and he's like, "Is this what you want?" Like that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
And a wrestling move there.
Yeah, it was like a flying elbow drop.
Yes, hello. Is this, Walter Frisbee? Who threw a frisbee? Well, you know what?
Whoa!
Or I will hunt you down and really smite thee. You have been warned.
I'm very angry at that Jack Thaddeus. Makes me sick.
Down with Alec and his frickin' Asperchew.
Asperchew. Someone made a cartoon series called Asperchew. It was like an animated series, and the main character was like a combination of him and Sonichu, his character Sonichu, combined into one character.
Little son of a bitch think he'd try to fight me off. He got another thing coming. Die, you son of a bitch. Alec, die. the spirit of Patty will have his soul for dinner tonight. She will be haunting your nightmares, Mr. Leary. Die in hell. And I hope the soul of my late dog eats at your souls and kills you in your sleep. You son of a bitch!
Yeah, the ghost of his dead dog was gonna attack people in the afterlife.
Come on, get up, you son of a bitch. This is for Sarah Cassandra McKenzie, you bastard.
THX for all these years of great content. Cool face. CX in chat, boys.
Thank you so much.
Young RJ.
Yeah, you're coming through tonight. I appreciate it. We're at 45%. I think we can make it all the way.
Yeah, still got like an hour left to go.
Yeah.
That's what you deserve, you goddamn womanizing, raping, trolling, stupid, pickle-suited n***er.
Oh, there it was. They actually censored it, which is funny.
Bad words.
One more time.
That's what you deserve, you goddamn womanizing, raping, trolling, stupid, pickle-suited n***er.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
And right up in my chair, and I would say, fuck abstinence. And you could tell him that I, Christian Western Chandler, provoked you to say, fuck abstinence. Are you ready for your execution?
He's got some boobs in.
What the fuck?
Well, at least my face ain't fucking orange. Goodbye. Fuck you most, and fuck you social sites like MySpace and Facebook. I am sick and tired of being misassociated with him. He is not mine, and I would never care to associate with him, because he is a bunch of crap. He just looks like a parody of me with a Buddha belly and exaggerated man boobs. Addressed to Mr. Mao of the Asperpedia.
Asperpedia. Curse Yehameha.
I would have them executed. Rot. In hell! You won't let me be! Goddamn another story when you try to hurt my friends and get them involved like you've been doing. Yeah, and I'm recording it on my iPod. Video. Yeah, you see what he moved his shovel mech and he's looking like he's either stoking it or he's trying to put it out. You looked from downstairs or outside? This can go on YouTube. Shoveling Mayo idiot tries to put out fire. Hey, there's a lake nearby. You know what? He could scoop some water and put it over the damn fire. My mama tried calling 911, but guess what? The darn idiots won't listen. They think he's not breaking any laws. Consarn it, they don't have a lick of common sense. Oh, look at this now. You driving away from the damn fire. Oh, wait, he's turning around. I'm driving away. Yep, I stoked the fire. No, I'm driving away. Oh, I'm an idiot or something. Look at
Filming
me.
through a screen isn't usually good, especially really up close. It's going to focus on the screen. So.
I'm driving away from the fire. I darn stoked it.
Why is he filming this?
And the
I don't
wind is
understand.
heavy over here. I can feel it. And now I just turn myself around. And now I'm gonna sit here and watch the damn fire some more. Somebody please call 911 and tell them to get over here. Don't call anybody.
Oh, yeah, this is. Yeah, this is when they pepper spray the GameStop employee and get convicted of battery.
You're a mean one, Mr. Trump. Now go die. And die again.
Is he holding his cat?
Die, Trump. Die. Wanna talk smack about me? You talk directly to me. Do you understand? And don't ever let me catch you talking about me to anyone else on anyone else's timelines, comment sections, Twitter, or wherever. That's outside of your own goddamn forum, you trolls. Don't ever let me catch you bad-mouthing me to anyone, harassing them at my expense. Do you understand me? You better damn well understand me. What the fuck? You hacked into her account! You hacked into her Facebook, you goddamn miserable, lifeless cretins! I was so fucking wrong! You really blew it this time!
Oh my God.
This is not funny if you're laughing. This is not funny! Good.
No, it's true.
Bye! Virginia. Why did you interrupt my video, Barbara? P-A-W-D Pie does not live here at 14 Branchline Court, Rockville, Virginia, 2296.
Doxing
himself, huh?
Multiple times. If there was a while, I don't know if this is still the case, because I don't think Christine lives where they used to live anymore. But there was a time where you could Google the official Sonichu headquarters, and you would just, on Google Maps, it would show their address, like with a pin in it. So.
Hey, you need to get that shit pulled off of shelves in Amazon stores or wherever else all the dang far away and cancel the frickin' G5 series. Make sure it never gets published anywhere and never, ever talk about it again and make the official cancellation notice public. Tell everybody, if you continue on and you do not listen to me, Hasbro, do not resume G4, you have to cancel
Hasbro.
G5. If you don't cancel G5, you're gonna put this entire timeline.
Yeah. See, this was right before Christine went to jail here. This is like right before. They were very mad that they were going to discontinue the Friendship is Magic My Little Pony timeline and like reboot it. And yeah, that was the problem with Bronies. Their entire fandom was contingent upon one like incarnation of this specific show. And when
that has been changing like since its first inception. Like it Friendship is Magic was like the 4th, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
I watched somebody do a documentary on Bronies once, so
yeah. At least like furries, they're just into cartoon animals. There's always going to be cartoon animals, you know? So like their fandom's not going away. But
my daughter was too. She watched Friendship is Magic way back in the day.
Yeah, but what? She was a kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew like 50-year-old men watching Friendship is Magic.
I did not watch it. It wasn't one of those shows because there were shows that like I would sit down and watch. Adventure Time was one of those shows where I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool, fun show to watch. Friendship is Magic was one where I was like, that's all you. I'm going to go do my thing over here. So.
And chaos. So I'm giving you this warning to tell you the truth and straight up. Cancel Generation 5 now, Hasbro.
Now!
Now!
Yeah. I'm sure that they got right on
They
that.
got scared. Wow, and that was the last one right before jail.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's something.
Now she's out and like, married to a woman or something, right? Making money.
I don't know if they're officially married, but they're like together. There were claims that they were like with child. The woman is like 30 years old, but looks like she's like 8 years old. It's really weird. But it's like they're definitely an adult. I think they're from like Finland too, which is another crazy thing.
Why?
I don't get the attraction. I think it was someone that started. It was someone that started writing to them while they were in jail. So
like a Jessica situation where it was like, I'm gonna go have sex with this person and charge people $5,000 to watch our sex tape, because that's how Jessica got started, man. Nobody remembers that, but like back in the day before Cobes and Jessica got together, I saw some of her streams and I was like, no, bitch, you need to stay away from Cobra. And she was like, she literally, that was one of the things that she said on stream before she even talked to him, was like, should I go out there? Should I go out there and have sex with them? And then I could charge people $5,000 to watch our sex tape? Because like that, from the very beginning, she just thought that Cobes was like the money ticket, man.
Yep. She always talked about the money all the time. Oh, he makes so much money.
Yeah, he's got so much money. Like, bitch, stay in Virginia.
Yeah.
Or find Jared. Go to Texas and get with Jared Genesis. He's the clout that you need to chase.
Let's see here.
Out Media.
Let's check out. Oh, did you see the clip of Cody Rhodes, the wrestler, reading the sign in the crowd? Did you see that?
No.
Check this out. They were doing like a live Q&A session before the WWE Royal Rumble happened. And this is the the WWE champion, and he notices this sign in the crowd and like asks about it. And listen to what he says.
But throw that up. What does that say? Christine Chandler loves Barb.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, Mom. I knew about Now before she went to Casper, before she even talked to Cobes. Like, there were people who were in lolcow circles who were talking about her because she was talking about Josh, and she was watching Josh on her streams and stuff like that. And I had already met Josh at that point and like knew him personally, and I took a little bit of a look at her and I was like, no, this is not the person that needs to be introduced to the Cobraverse. Like, all she's going to be is bad news for Cobes. And what do you know? All she was bad news for Cobes. But that's pretty good. The Christian loves Barb.
Yep. Christine Chandler loves Barb. I just checked to see if Nell was streaming, and she's not. Maybe she's in Casper again. I was watching a video of her not too long ago, and she said she wanted to go back. So
there's nothing for her in Casper. Nobody in Casper wants to be around her. Nobody in Casper likes her. Like, I think that even Josh on a bender hopefully has learned his lesson.
Well, the part of the issue is that the last time she went uninvited, she got in anyway. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
she got in and he got in.
Yeah.
But hopefully that won't happen again.
Hopefully. Let me see. I'm looking up a few things here because I'm just looking for updates. I'm so sad that Cobra, like, he hasn't felt the motivation to make content.
Your mom said she's DTF. Is that Demogorgon Trogdite Frog Woman? I don't
Frog Woman. Yes. Absolutely Frog Woman. She is, yeah, she does kind of look like Smeagol from the animated version of The Hobbit. There was the 1977 animated version of The Hobbit.
She looks like a like somebody. She looks like a normal sized person was inflated. Okay, so you know that scene in Harry Potter where I think it's the ant or whatever gets inflated and she flies away. Like, it looks like somebody who was a normal sized person was overinflated and then deflated. Like, not even that she was overweight or anything. It's just that, like, she was a regular sized person whose skin got deflated and now she's just got a bunch of extra skin. I don't know.
Yeah, she is very, like, saggy. There's a lot of saggies going on.
Her face looks like droopy dog.
You know what? I'm happy.
I don't like that joke.
Yeah, that's craziness.
She shows up with pink champagne or a little bit of, or a ball of some Jack she can get in. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
She's a 4 out of 10. That's being really generous.
I would say 2.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably still generous.
It's weird because I have seen like older photos of her and she's not bad in like the older photos. I don't know how her titties ended up sagging all the way down to her belly button at like 40 years old. I don't know how that happened. She never had any kids or anything. Usually that kind of shit happens like, you know, like if a woman's had like a bunch of kids and shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
Gotta be the drugs.
How's the drugs make boobs sag?
So I'm pretty sure that there's like something with meth that just makes your skin loose, man. Because like I knew a girl a long time ago who used to do meth, and like you would feel her, like you would grab her, and like it just felt like her skin was loose on her body. I don't know how else to describe it.
That is weird. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch that. Oh, here's Trump. We're back to Trump. Trump at a national day of prayer at the Capitol. Hail to the chief. I love Trump. He's such a devout Christian man. Right?
Yeah. If I ran for president, I'd do it as a Republican because they're stupid. I think that's what he said in the 80s.
Oh no, whatever Trump does, we just ignore that.
Thank you very much. This is very beautiful, I must say. This is a beautiful place. And our country is starting to do very well again. It's happening.
Is it? Is it?
Just say that it is, of course. If he says it, then that's the truth. That's what his followers believe.
Okay.
Happening fast. A little faster than people thought. Thank you especially to Senator Marshall for the beautiful introduction. Appreciate it very much.
It's the best introduction.
Great senator you are.
Introductions like him.
I also want to thank a friend and a man of profound faith and tremendous patriotism who's also become a great friend. You become much friendlier when you have a majority of 2 or 3 or 4. Could even be 5 pretty soon. But for a little while it was 1. And that's Mike Johnson, Speaker. Thank you very much, Mike, very much. And thanks as well to somebody who's doing a fantastic job Senator Thune, thank you very much, Senator. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's
House leader. He's got a sycophants.
really great. And Leader Scalise, Steve, wherever you may be, I think you're here someplace. There he is, a brave guy too. A brave guy, I always say it. And Senator Chuck Schumer. Chuck, thank you very much. Thank you.
What? Okay, that's not something I was expecting.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's new.
Yeah.
Senator
maybe
Hassan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice to see you. Congressman Jeffries. Thank you. And many other very distinguished leaders in the room. It's great group of people. If we could ever come together, it would be unbelievable. It may not happen, but it should, and maybe it will. From the earliest days of our republic, faith in God has always been the ultimate source of the strength that beats in the hearts of our nation. We have to bring religion back.
I don't believe for a minute that before Trump got officially into politics, he was like this religious guy at all.
Nope, not a chance. No.
We have to bring it back much stronger. It's one of the biggest problems that we've had over the last fairly long period of time. We have to bring it back. Thomas Jefferson himself once attended Sunday services held in the old House chamber on the very ground where I stand.
Thomas Jefferson wrote a Bible that took all the miracles and like magic out of it. So he was not a conventional Christian by any stretch of the imagination.
Then, okay, look, if you're a Christian, you take that sentence that you just said and you just lop off the last like 5/6 of it. You wrote a Bible, full stop. Like, come on, man, that's an accomplishment. He wrote a Bible.
Yeah, the Jeffersonian Bible.
Today.
Yeah.
So there could be nothing more beautiful than for us to gather in this majestic place. It is majestic and reaffirm that America is and will always be one nation under God. At every stage of the American story, our country has drawn hope and courage and inspiration from our trust in the Almighty. Deep in the soul of every patriot is the knowledge that God has a special plan and a glorious mission for America. And that plan is going to happen. It's going to happen. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. It's going to happen. And it's his hand that guides us.
Thank you for your content. Hi to Ben and hi to my cousin. Also fuck Trump and fuck Musk until the end of this fucking world.
There you go.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Is that someone you know?
I didn't see what the name was.
They said hi to Ben and hi to my cousin.
Yeah, because I'm everybody's cousin.
Oh, is that how that works? It was Albie the Slayer. Thank you, Albie the Slayer.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the dono. Yeah, I'm everybody's cousin, Ben.
I see. I see. That's. I mean, you make me feel like we're in West Virginia. You know, everybody's cousin.
Right, exactly. We are getting closer to that. Trying to get the at least 50% tonight.
Yes, I would be so happy right now if we could get to 50%. Thank you, Albie the Slayer. I figured, but who knows? You know, I never know. I don't know everything. But yeah. And then also tomorrow there's gonna be all kinds of streaming too, and I'm hoping to get it, you know, to at least like 75% tomorrow. So if you guys can help us get to 50%, that would be pretty sweet. And I know your mom wants me to drink. He won't donate unless I drink. I mean, I can't drink every day, dude. Like,
one of these days, like once I get, because like I said, we're moving right now, and like once I get into the new place and get like my little studio area set up, like, and I'm actually at my own house and I don't have to drive home later tonight, then I might do an episode of DP where I drink. So
I'll tell you what I'll do, your mom. I do have a little bit of booze left over from Spin Till You Spew. So if you help us get to 50%, I will I'll do 3 shots, like back to back to back.
While you're working out the details, I'm gonna go take a
Yeah, do your thing. You have my word that I will do 3 shots. I'm gonna have to go get the bottle. It's like in another room. But I'll do it. But we got to get to 50%. I'll do 3 shots back to back to back. They're these kind of shots. This shot glass. See? Completely full. I don't know what milliliters are. I'm American, okay? It's this many. Oh, God. Oh, God. I got some sore arms and shit. God, I didn't sleep. I just laid there all night last night like tripping. Furlongs. I didn't know what a furlong was until I went to horse racing. So if I get to 50%, I will do 3 shots. If I don't get to 50%, I will do no shots. How much does it take to get us to 50%? Let's see. So it's 450 is 50%. I'm bad at math, and I have to use a calculator for everything. I'm not good at math. So 450 minus 4, 1650. So $33.50. Yeah. Yeah.
Every single step of the way. And all of you and the things we have to do is to see the defining role that faith and prayer have played in the life of our nation.
Oh, God. Trump, when he's reading, is like not as entertaining.
Who famously proclaimed, today, almost 400 years after that famous sermon, we see that with the Lord's help, the city stands taller and shines brighter.
China!
Than ever before, or at least it soon will.
I love the poorly educated.
That same hall.
I love the poorly educated so much, I'm going to end the Department of Education.
Right? He wants a whole country of poorly educated.
Right.
We also find the statue of the great Roger Williams, who founded the state of Rhode Island, named its capital city Providence, and built the first Baptist church in America. It's Williams that we have to thank for making religious liberty part of the bedrock of American life. And today we must protect the fundamental freedom with absolute devotion. We must stand strong, just like generations of Americans have done on the battlefields all around the world. Feet away from the magnificent rotunda, another statue watches over visitors.
Yeah, this is just, someone wrote this for him. You know what? It's interesting because I can tell here he's not trying to be divisive, which is weird. It is rare. And
yeah, well, I mean, like, he thanked Chuck Schumer, so obviously, like, there's some bipartisanship in whatever is going on in this event. So.
Yeah, this is like the National Day of Prayer, which is interesting because Chuck Schumer, not a Christian. So, right. But I guess they don't specify, like, who you're praying to specifically.
Sure.
Some religion, he went up 25%. And if you know him, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But he said there had to be somebody that saved you. And I think I know who it is. And he looked up and I said,
all right, yeah, I can't watch this. This is bullshit. How about this? 100,000 eggs stolen from back of truck at farm.
Sell them on eBay?
You've heard of jewelry heists, but never an egg heist until now.
About 100,000 eggs were stolen.
You heard right. 100,000 eggs stolen from an egg distributor. That's a lot of eggs. The egg heist took place at an egg distribution center in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. The eggs were stolen from the back of a trailer, and the entire haul is said to be worth $40,000.
That's not very much.
Thanks, Trump.
This came from Pete and Jerry's Organics Farm, a brand sold in supermarkets across the USA. The egg crisis has led to reports of consumers hoarding eggs. This video,
the egg crisis,
posted on social media, shows shoppers at Costco with arms full of eggs. Look at this. Her cart is overflowing.
Yeah, they have those like 5 dozen egg cartons at Costco where you can buy 5 dozen eggs all at once.
I've seen this. So I do Instacart shopping, and Costco is one of the places that I shop. But like any of the Costco's, and I've shopped from like Salt Lake City to like Reno up to like Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, Washington to like Portland and Eugene, all over. And like anytime that there's any kind of shortages or anything going on, they'll put like a 2 per person limit. And especially when eggs started going up in price, every Costco that I've ever been into has been like two egg products per customer. So this is crazy to me that they're just letting people go out with that many eggs.
What the hell is up with your mom, that crazy bunyip? He fucking said he was gonna... what?
They pieced the fuck out. They're like...
Oh, yeah, they're like... They ran away. They wrote a check their ass can't cash.
Going with
maybe they're going to their app to go transfer bank account money or
typical
something like that.
Aussie coward.
Costco is now limiting purchases to 5 dozen for $18.69. At another store, this sign reads, 2 egg carton limit.
We're expecting to see prices of both eggs and products that use eggs to rise by as much as 20%.
Look at this hair. It looks like he was in a very powerful windstorm. It's like Bride of Frankenstein levels of hair. They just need the streaks.
This year.
Now, customers of some popular restaurants hit with a steep surcharge for every egg ordered.
Yep. Waffle House has now imposed a 50-cent surcharge on your favorite egg breakfast due to the nationwide rise in the cost of eggs.
Well, when they've got employees like Lana Del Rey working for them, they've got to, they got to find a way to make that money back up.
Holy shit. Okay. I don't necessarily believe this because I don't want to sound like a crazy Trumper from 4 years ago. But there is a guy out there floating a theory that Kamala would have actually won, but there was voter suppression in multiple states that caused her to not win.
Heard about that. And before we go too far into it, I will say one of the things that Elon Musk said during the election is if Trump does not win, they'll throw me in jail, which is just a weird kind of thing to say, if you're not a criminal and you're not doing anything wrong. And then comes all of this, Trump or Elon, one thing that he's really great with is computers. Okay. And like he really helped out during the election with the computers. Suspicious. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm sure that the election was free and fair and honest or whatever, but
I don't know, but if they really believe this, they'll have to take it to court. I mean, that's the only way this can actually be vetted out. Otherwise, they just need to shut up about it. Honestly. But yeah, let's see this clip.
If not for vote suppression tactics, Kamala Harris would have won.
Our buddy Greg Palast is with us. Who actually won or lost?
I don't know why the audio sync is off.
2024 election for president. Greg, welcome back to the... I should mention you are the Guardian, New York Times reporter, author of The Best Democracy Money Can Buy. Your latest film is Vigilantes, Inc. And GregPalast.com is your website. Hey, Greg.
Hey, glad to be with you, Tom.
Well, thank you. Who won or who lost the election?
It's real simple. If not for vote suppression tactics, that's a fancy word for shafting people of color out of their vote, young people out of their vote, Kamala Harris would have won 3,565,000 votes. That's a number of voters that were denied the right to vote because they were purged or they were challenged or they had their provisional ballot thrown out. Let me give you some of the numbers. The reason I'm giving you numbers, and I've waited so long to make this report, is that I have to get the numbers from the government agencies, particularly something we call the Elections Assistance Commission. So people
hold on for just a second. Not to get like super conspiracy theory into this or anything, but like something that 100% did happen. So in the state that I live in the state of Oregon, you vote by mail, right?
Yes, and here too.
I sent in my vote, sent in my ballot, didn't have any problems with it at all. My son, who is 19, this is the first presidential election that he's ever voted in, sent in his vote and got a certified letter back from the county that he lived in saying that for whatever reason, his signature didn't match the signature that they had on file for it, so they didn't count his vote. That's fucked which up. Is ridiculous because like it's the same signature that they have on file for the DMV, which matched it. And I heard that it happened to a lot of young people. Like he wasn't the only person that he knew even that it happened to. So definitely something was going on to some degree. But in Oregon, which he voted for Harris, I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know why he wouldn't have, but she carried the state anyway, so I don't know, I don't necessarily know where the conspiracy in all of that is, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Don't realize I used to be a professor of statistics. I was a forensic economist. This is my specialty, the numbers, which I usually did for attorneys general and the U.S. Department of Justice and other government agencies. And so these are calculations I would do, and I have done for federal courts. So we had, are you ready for this? According to the Elections Assistance Commission, the official numbers, we had 4,776,706 voters purged from the voter rolls wrongly. And I'm not making this up. I had the guys from that work with the Microsoft and Amazon go through every single purged name in two states, Georgia and Wisconsin. We took those two states. And we found, for example, in Georgia, that 198,000 voters, we actually have their names and addresses were wrongly removed from the voter rolls. And you'll be shocked, overwhelmingly, voters of color. And in Wisconsin, almost every voter removed by the purge was either a black voter in Milwaukee or a student in Madison. We had this brand new business this year of vigilante voter challenges. We talked about that on the air, where for the first time, very first time, an individual voter like Greg Palast can say, Tom Hartman does not live in Portland. He shouldn't be allowed to vote. This is new. A third of 317,000 voters were challenged by the beginning of August. NAACP said it was over 200,000 just Georgia alone by Election Day.
What the fuck happened to your mom? Your mom talked a big game. And where are you, your mom? Where are you?
You go off and take care of your mom.
Is he throwing boomerangs or something?
With your mom being gone, we really need everybody else's help that's here. We've got 25 minutes left of the show. If we could get a little bit closer to that 50%. At your mom.
$33.50. That's all we need. And I will do 3 shots. I think I have tequila or I think I have vodka too. I'll pick one of them.
We had 2.12 million mail-in ballots rejected, and that wouldn't mean anything if it were random. It's not random, Tom. According to the state of Washington, which did a study, you're 400% more likely to have your mail-in ballot rejected if you're black than if you're white. And Washington state has the least voter suppression of any state in the union.
There you have it.
And according to the U.S. Civil Rights Commission, which did a study, they found that the chance of your ballot being rejected, mail-in or in precinct, is 900% higher if you're black than if you're white. We have over 500,000 votes that were.
There it is. Oh, that's Jay Spoon doing that.
Hey,
that's Jay Spoon. Thank you, Jay Spoon, the MVP.
Fuck yeah.
Your mom. You know what? Your mom, if you're still watching, If you do another one, I'll do 6 shots. But I did say I'd do the shots, so I'll be right back. And when I come back, there better be another dono from your mom. That Aussie coward.
Doing the shots, even though it didn't come from your mom. Still doing the drinks. So, but yeah, no. Peter said, "How old were you when you had your son? Like 12?" No, I was 19 when she got pregnant and 20 when he was born. So hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake I made and my dad made, which was have a kid before you can legally drink. Not a good way to go. Usually they don't question the signature unless there's an other flag raised for something fishy with that. Yeah, it happened a lot in Oregon for some reason. It was especially prevalent with young people for some reason. So, but yeah, the saying the coloreds, kind of a cringe thing to do that you can tell is a white person that's pretty isolated and never around black people. I said that when I was 19 and I moved to Texas, and I said that to a black person. He was like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say colored since I was like watching a documentary in school, man. I was like, I'm sorry, I came from white coastal Oregon where like there were no minorities. No, I don't regret it at all. Yeah, my son's awesome. He's amazing. I've gotten him into motorcycle riding now too, so that's pretty cool. He rides motorcycles with me, and we go snowboarding and do shit like that. So it's pretty cool.
All right. This really cheap, nasty ass tequila. Ugh. Yeah. All right.
Foiled that as they said they couldn't be read. And again, it's very, very racial. We had 1.2 million provisional ballots rejected. People think, they get this, you go in and they say, oh, you've been challenged, you've been purged, or we can't find your name on the rolls. Here, fill out this provisional ballot.
One.
43% of those ballots, according to the U.S. government, 43% of provisional ballots, and there were about 4 million in the last, or about 3 million in the last election. 43% of those were thrown in the garbage. Oh. Overwhelmingly voters of color, and in fact, if you're black, Hispanic, or Latino, or Asian American, the chance you'll be given a provisional ballot is 300% higher than if you're white. We're talking, there's some double counting here. The vote suppression factor is about 2.3%. Again, Kamala Harris would have even won the popular vote, 3.565 million extra votes. She would have won the states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. These are pretty exacting calculations, Tom. And so she would have won with 286 electoral votes. Again, this is absent if we didn't have a vote suppression Jim Crow voting system. And I'm telling
there it is, your mom. Don't be a bum, your mom.
Oh. I work all over the world on elections, from Britain to Venezuela to Liberia. There's no other nation in the world except for old apartheid South Africa. I mean, where we have a supposed democracies, where you have this racial, basically Jim Crow apartheid voting system, where you have massive, massive numbers of voters of color lose their vote. Also now, that's kind of widened out to, I found a massive number of young people. Again, that demographic is their voters of color too. The color's blue because young voters, especially young women, that are targeted for the purges to be sent to provisional ballots, had their registrations canceled or their votes disqualified, especially their mail-in ballots. NPR found that 1 in 7 mail-in ballots in the analysis they did were thrown in the garbage. Overwhelmingly, again, by the government numbers, 400% more likely if you're black than if you're white. So this is how Trump won.
So take it to court, dude.
And other forms of vote suppression. That gave him the election. And unless we...
Yeah, it's like either he does have this evidence, then let's see it, let's take it to court, or he knows he can get attention because there are people that definitely want to hear this. You know?
Right now he's saying numbers. That's all he's doing. Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, but like literally show us something, man.
Yeah.
He restart.
It's not too late, by the way. He could contest if he had evidence that there was voter suppression and the election would have went another way had it not happened. He could take it to court. I believe. I don't think it's too late. If it's true, if he actually had evidence, you know. I mean, Trump had it in court after Biden took office.
Right. Yeah.
So
he tried to take it to court that he lost or that he won the election, and the courts shot it down. But like he did take it to court.
Yeah.
Is a voting rights movement in America. 2028's already decided. It'll be decided by Jim Crow, not by the voters.
By Jim Crow.
It seems sometimes, Greg, that the whole conspiracy movement, it's got to be the voting machines. Oh, it's got to be, Starlink being in the middle. It's got to be Elon Musk. And I think Trump was trolling us a couple days ago when he basically congratulated Elon Musk on doing something with the vote counting machines in Pennsylvania. It almost seems like all of that is just a great distraction from what is actually happening and actually working for the GOP. I mean, they started this whole, squealing about brown people being illegal voters in the 60s with Operation Eagle Eye and with William Rehnquist, the guy who became the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. There's history here.
Well, yes. And in fact, in my film, Vigilantes, Inc., which, by the way, at gregpals.com, thanks Leonardo DiCaprio, you can download it or stream it for free.
Leonardo DiCaprio's part of this? Huh.
What the fuck does that have to do with it?
Wonder if this dude was hanging out on one of Leo DiCaprio's babe yachts where he's got like... Have you ever seen the like paparazzi pictures of that where it's like, 45-year-old Leo DiCaprio, he's got all these like 25-year-old girls in bikinis hanging out on his yacht? This dude wasn't there.
He like one of the guests at like P. Diddy's white parties back in the day?
I don't know about that. I don't know. P. Diddy had parties and there were plenty of people that went to them that didn't see crazy shit. So I'm not going to just assume someone went to like the weird sex party unless there's evidence. Because I hate it. Like they do that with like anyone who ever took a picture with Epstein, they assume was like on the Lolita Express with him. And Epstein met a lot of people. It's the same thing with Diddy. Like Diddy took pictures with so many fucking people. He was in the music business for like 25, 30 years. So I'm not going to assume anyone who took a picture with Diddy was like doing some freaky illegal shit with him.
Fair enough.
It'll come out in court if it did, but I don't think so.
But we go back, we show you a clip from the 1920 film over 100 years ago, the film Birth of a Nation, where they show a white actor in blackface putting 2 ballots into a ballot box. So the accusation that black voters vote multiple times.
Yeah, Twin City. I get that you're like easily brainwashed, but just because he said Leo DiCaprio went to his parties doesn't mean he was at the like freaky. He's going to court. So anyone who was there taking part in it, it's going to come out in court when it happens.
We don't want to put allegations on this show. Alleged, who did this, who did that. We don't know. We can't say.
No, I'm serious. Like, just because he was there were huge parties. There were a ton of people at these parties. That doesn't mean they were all taking part in like the really weird shit going on there.
To steal elections is an old trope, but this time it came back 100 years later with the Trump group, True the Vote. And they used that to justify these new vigilante individual challenges. Again, they proudly proclaimed 317,886 challenges by the beginning of August. And this is brand new stuff. This has not been done since the Ku Klux Klan used this personal mass challenge business in 1946. This is the Klan plan. And Trump used this to massive effect, especially in Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. This was a massive attack on voters of color, especially. And we're not guessing about what color they are. We called up 800 of the challenged voters. almost all of them were black, and a smattering of some young white people.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Twin City would probably like be like, oh, well, he didn't do any. Trump didn't do because Twin City is like a MAGA tard. So Twin City would be like, oh, okay, well, like, oh, Trump didn't do any of this crazy shit. And I don't know if he did. I'm not going to accuse him of it, but this is an example. Like, P. Diddy took pictures with all sorts of people. He was at the top of the music industry for like 30 years. So
I think that Melania's got some store-bought work done there.
Oh, you mean her boobs?
Yeah, I do mean.
She has nudes out there because she did like nude photo shoots.
I remember I've got a buddy that I went to high school with that I remember on Instagram around the time that Trump was running the first time. He was like, because like who did he run against? He ran against Hillary, right?
Who?
Yeah,
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump ran against Hillary the first time. Yeah.
He was like, I'm voting for Trump because like then at least like we get nudes of the first lady or something like that.
She is the first lady to do like a voluntary nude photo shoot that's available to the public. I don't know. Maybe the boobs are fake, but I mean, like, I think she had them when she met Trump, though. I don't know. They might just be pushed up. Like she might.
I feel like there was a picture of like Laura Bush taken like topless on a beach one time or something like that.
But that was like leaked. I mean, if that's real, I've never seen it, so I don't know if that's real. But I would say, like, even if that's real, that was like leaked. Melania did nude photo shoots as a model.
Right. She was a model. Yeah.
Her and Trump did a bunch of photo shoots. Like, there's one where she's like dressed all hot, like laying on his desk, and he's like sitting there, like acting like he's talking on the phone.
Did that with his daughter too.
He did do kind of weird photo shoots with his daughter. That is true.
Yeah, and she was a young teenager, kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out who did what with Diddy shortly, because there's going to be, I mean, even though I think it is a federal trial, so I don't think there will be cameras in the courtroom. I think it's federal. But, I mean, it's all going to be public, like the transcripts and everything.
We'll be reporting on it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see. If there's evidence that any of these people were involved, I'll be like, yeah, it looks like they were. But I'm sure there was like the party most of the people were invited to, and then there was like a part of the party you had to like know someone to get to, and that's where the freaky shit was going on. They weren't going to just let anybody in there.
After the party, it's the after party.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Registered as Democrats. Obviously, they know your registration, they know who you are, and they know your zip code. So this is how it's been working again, they brought in a 1946 Klan plan. So there is a long history here. But we have now, and that was justified supposedly by black people from, you saw in the film from True the Vote, 2,000 Mules, where they said black men, whom they called mules, they showed them stuffing ballot boxes. And of course, they've been sued to a fare thee well because everyone that they showed on camera was a legal voter. They were just guilty of voting while black.
Yeah.
I remember Cobra was doing a stream, and I'm done with this video. This guy can't prove anything. He can make claims. Maybe he's right, but he needs to prove it.
Right.
I watched this video of Cobra before the election was like, Kamala was at Diddy parties. And there's no evidence of that ever happening at all. And then I went and pulled up all these pictures of Trump with Diddy, Ozzy hanging out with Diddy, you know. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, Ozzy, Jack, and Kelly Osbourne all went to Diddy parties. Or I think Kelly actually went to the parties. I don't know if Ozzy went, but Ozzy hung out with Diddy and shit and took pictures with him.
Oops.
Yeah, his reach was so far that, like, chances are a celebrity you like hung out with Diddy at least at some point.
I mean, he was in everything. Like, it wasn't just music. Like, Russell Brand is a piece of shit. And obviously so is Diddy, but I will say that, like, Get Him to the Greek used to be one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I mean, just because I don't like someone that in a movie or like in a band or whatever, if their art was good, I can still admire it, you know.
But he was basically himself in that movie. So
yeah, the really awkward part is like where he has a threesome with Jonah Hill and his girlfriend. That is so weird. And the way like Jonah Hill stops it is like he grabs his tallywhacker. Yeah.
Come on, man, we're just having a threesome. Come on.
Yep.
What are the rules?
Yep. Yeah, see, Diddy White Party and Kelly Osbourne is in a bunch of these pictures here. See?
Huh. Yep.
Doesn't mean shit. Just means she was at a party. She's hanging out with Diddy a lot, though. There's a lot of pictures of her with Diddy. There's a bunch of them.
Lewis says free Diddy. How about no?
Here's Diddy with Sharon.
Not a good look, Tubes. That movie was weird, but it was a sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which I thought was kind of clever.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall was a pretty interesting movie, also.
Yeah. I honestly like Jonah Hill's character for Forgetting Sarah Marshall more than his character from Get Him to the Greek.
I like how awkward he is in Get Him to the Greek, though. Like he thinks just because the UK is like part of Europe that they do the like French kiss each other on the cheek thing, and the British guy's looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing to me, dude?" I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like. There were a couple of Russell Brand movies that I thought were interesting. Like I'm not a fan of him now, but you know,
he's kind of a piece of shit these days. And something that Jeff had pointed out to me, and I try to point out to people as much as possible, is that his shift to the right also coincided with the sexual harassment allegations and the allegations that he was having a 16-year-old, like picking a 16-year-old up from high school to like have her come over and give him head. So
yeah, he might have done that.
Something to keep in.
So that is like, it's not illegal in his country to do that,
right?
But yeah, I mean, people can make their own judgment whether or not that's unethical or immoral. It's not illegal in the UK, so he's not going to face any actual like criminal charges for that. But he could. I mean, like he's already faced the backlash from it. Like he's not working in Hollywood again, you know.
No.
So
his new name in prison is Goldie. Cobb's got a channel strike for that video that he made about.
Yeah. When he said Diddy had AIDS. Yeah. He was so mad about that. I remember texting with him when he was like, damn.
Wasn't that all just like based on some allegation that somebody made too? It wasn't even like proven or anything.
Someone said Russell Brand pulled a Seinfeld. Kind of, but Seinfeld actually dated, like, yeah, it's weird, but Seinfeld actually dated that girl. They were like on the cover of like People magazine together and shit like that. So I think I think Russell Brand was just like banging this 16-year-old that like she wasn't his girlfriend, you know, but
just a groupie.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Yeah.
Picking her up from high school, bringing her over to his place.
Let's see.
Got 4 minutes left. If anybody wants to, last minute tip stream donation, liking the stream, making sure that all those things are done.
Where is that People magazine color? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's like in retrospect, it's weird. At the time, no one gave a shit. And I don't think her parents gave a shit either, because I think they were like, oh, Jerry Seinfeld wants to date our daughter. I think they were cool with it, because nothing happened to him. I don't know what the laws in New York were at the time, but...
Was she under 18 or something?
I think she was. I think she was like 17 when they met or something. I don't know all the details, but... yeah, I mean, this is something that gets brought up about Jerry Seinfeld a lot now, like nowadays. But let's see. Yeah, they were on like the cover of People magazine together. I think she was over. Yeah, in this picture it says Jerry Seinfeld 39 and Shoshana Lonstein 18 make an unlikely romance work.
I'm sure that they're still together to this day, right?
They're not. I think they did date for a long time though. But yeah, I think when he met her, she was like still in high school and shit. Pretty
that reminds me of the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know if I've said it
Anthony
on the show
Kiedis.
or not. Yeah, but he in his autobiography he brought up the fact that this girl followed him on tour and he ended up having sex with her, and then she told him afterwards that she was 14. And after he found out that she was 14, he banged her again, knowing it, and like brags about it in his autobiography. So
I would say like in the 60s, that was normal. Like that, like rock stars had like teenage groupies.
This is Red Hot Chili.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like it's, and I'm saying like at this time, like now that would be completely unacceptable for like a big celebrity who's like 40 to date a 17-year-old. Hold on, let me finish. And then, but at the time there was like culturally. There were like parents who were like, oh, my 18-year-old daughter is going to marry this rich, famous dude. Okay. Like people were okay with that back then. That's why there was no problem putting it on a fucking magazine cover back then. But yeah, now if someone did that, they would never work again. They would never work in Hollywood again.
It was probably the 90s that this happened, and it was a 14-year-old girl.
Sure.
Dude is in his 60s.
So
now,
how is he not prosecuted for that? Because 14 isn't legal anywhere.
Because there's no the girl didn't come forward.
Oh, it was so long ago. It was so long ago.
He's just telling a story in a book, but he's dating a 19-year-old right now, and he's in his 60s. So that goes to tell you the kind of person that he is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy shit. Like if you look back at like famous men and like who they date and shit. I don't know.
James, let me finish, James.
I think the girl Anthony Kiedis dates now is like a model or something, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis is not. Anytime the Chili Peppers come on the radio anymore, I just turn them off. I'm like, I can't listen to this anymore.
I like Mr. Bungle better. The Red Hot Chili Peppers tried to suppress Mr. Bungle and Faith No More because they thought that they were ripping them off back in the day.
Huh.
Yep. Yeah, there's like a whole feud. And then there was a show where Mr. Bungle played and fucking they did nothing. They did a Halloween show where they were all dressed up as the Red Hot Chili Peppers and they had like fake syringes hanging out of their arms and shit when they were doing it. It's pretty funny. I was never a Chili Peppers fan.
I mean, Soul to Squeeze is the only song that I was like, yeah, I really like this song, but like for the most part, like, yeah, whatever.
I think they're good musicians. I'm just not a fan of. Like, they're not my favorite.
Well, anyway, man, it's 10 o'clock and I've got to get up early in the morning, so I gotta.
All right.
Later.
Yeah. So thanks for being on. You have a good night.
Absolutely. Good hanging out with you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time, man.
All right. See you next time. All right. So I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes here, and then we'll wrap it up. Red Hot Chili Peppers have had some good songs, for sure. Dude, like, I'm different, like, when it comes to, like, people who have done stuff I would find objectionable. I can still enjoy their creations. Like, I can watch a Roman Polanski movie and like the movie and still think he should go to prison for what he did. What was it, like 50 years ago or something now? I think he should be going to prison. I don't think he ever will. But I can watch like movies that he made that were good movies, and like that. But I would never defend his personal character. Never. Dude, Gary Glitter. You don't listen to Gary Glitter. Who actually listens to Gary Glitter? Like, they played Gary Glitter at like sporting events and shit. His music was popular because it was like catchy music to play at sporting events. And a lot of places don't play his music anymore because of all the shit that he's been through. And that wasn't just rumors about him. He was actually convicted of that shit. So, yeah. I will say, I didn't know about the Anthony Kiedis thing and his book and everything. What a fucking lunatic writing about it, too. That's very weird. It's one thing to do it, like, that's fucked up, but why would he tell everybody about it, too? That's just craziness. It's like he's, he wants everyone to know. He's unashamed. Why would he write a book and admit to a crime in it? That's fucking crazy. Dude, it took forever for R. Kelly to face consequences. But even longer for Roman Polanski. I don't think Roman Polanski will ever face consequences. He's pretty old too. So I think he's getting away with it. Just because he's like a talented director and like I don't think there's an extradition treaty that France has with the U.S., and he's a French citizen, so he gets to just, Gigi Allen. Yeah, Gigi Allen was a psycho, but did he ever actually, like, murder anybody or anything like that? Or, like, did he have underage groupies or something? I didn't think so. I thought he was just, like, a psycho fucker, like, just crazy. But I don't know. I don't know all of his... I know some of his songs, but I don't know. It's okay to like a song, and like you don't have to feel bad about liking a song. If you like a song, and the person who wrote and performed the song was a piece of shit, it's okay to like the song. That's fine. That's my opinion. You do what you want to do. You do it how you do it. I don't let the how do I say it? I don't let the reality of like how horrible humanity can be ruin everything for me, because then there's pretty much nothing I could enjoy at that point. You should definitely follow society's rules. You should definitely follow society's rules. There's like Phil Spector, who murdered his wife. He was convicted of murdering his wife. He was like one of the best music producers of his era. He produced several albums. And if I couldn't see myself not liking all this music that he had a hand in creating just because he's a murderer. I'm not his friend. You know, it's not like I have to be his friend to like his shit. That's how I feel about it. Some people can't separate it. I can. I'm fine with it. I don't have to like someone personally to like their artwork. Yeah, Kevin Spacey's another example. I've definitely enjoyed some of his films. Yeah, I mean, there's endless examples of that shit. Even to a lesser degree. There's definitely Mel Gibson movies that I like, and Mel Gibson's religious and political affiliations gross me out. And his racism, but I can still enjoy a Mel Gibson movie. I don't think JF could have fled to France because he's not a French citizen. Roman Polanski was a French citizen. I don't really like Bill Cosby's comedy, honestly, and I didn't really... I was kind of young when the Cosby Show was on, so I didn't watch it that much. I watched Fat Albert when I was a kid. I liked Fat Albert. And there was a thing Picture Pages did, or there was a thing Bill Cosby did for kids. It was like a children's show, and it was called Picture Pages that they used to play on Nickelodeon, and I liked that. But I was never like a huge fan of Bill Cosby's comedy. His comedy was like very clean. It was very like family friendly stuff. It's out there. You can find it. It was very clean stand up. Yeah, the pen. It was a marker. It was Ichabod marker. Bill Cosby's marker that he would draw with. Yep, Hulk Hogan's another one. Chris Benoit's another one. Chris Benoit murdered his wife and his kid, and I can still enjoy his wrestling matches, even though he's a fucking murderer. That's just me, though. You guys do what makes you comfortable. You know? You know what I'm saying, bro? I don't know who Scotty Peterson is. I'm about to end this stream. We got to 50%. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll see you guys next time, okay? I'll see you guys all next time. Have a good one.